Prompt all the agents. Prompt all the agents in this workspace to prepare to assist me. Let's go, chat. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Welcome back. Today's gonna be good when we have a sole focus of today's stream. And that's this guy right here. You see this? This is Jarvis, the bridge agent. Check it out. We're gonna make a ton of progress today, chat. Let's go. We got a tweet from Elon Musk. Let's go. Knocking out some goals today, chat. All right. All right, let's turn the music down a little bit. Let's go. All right. How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the stream. Hold up here. All right, today's gonna be a good one. So yesterday, if you guys saw the stream yesterday, so we were kind of brainstorming a little bit yesterday. I had to grind out some content, but at the end of the day, we have one sole focus of today's stream. If you guys look here, if you guys look at this bridge orchestration agent, this is something that we built out, and we built out basically like a concept, right? And I think that that concept has actually driven more revenue to BridgeSpace than we may know. So if you guys look at the orchestration agent here, this is essentially like a Jarvis, and the sole mission of this agent is to make it so that you don't have to prompt, okay? But the problem is that this agent, I haven't focused on it enough. And today, that's what we're gonna be doing. We're gonna be focusing on this functionality. So I can go into one of these workspaces and watch this. So I can prompt this thing, and I can just say, I want you to open up 6 Codex agents. Squiddy over on X, what's up? All day, what's up? Mute the app, what's up? But so look at this. So it opens up the Codex agents, right? And it has control over your workspace. But I don't think there's been a single stream. Squiddy over on X, how's it going? Chat, what's up? MX Crass, what's up? So you guys can see that it has access to your workspace through tools, right? And by the way, at 300 likes, we're gonna do a live piano performance, but this is gonna be the sole focus of today's stream. And I don't wanna work on too much. I wanna focus in and pinpoint all of our efforts on this particular agent, because I think that we can actually make this like a super reliable tool. And right now, honestly, I was using it and I just wasn't really happy with it. I wasn't happy with what I created. And I feel like there's so much more that we could do with that. And we'll get into that in a second. I'm gonna write some goals up on the board today. But today, we're gonna focus in on transforming this right here. We're gonna build more tools into it. We're gonna make it so that it actually has the context of what's going on in each terminal. And we're gonna give it more tools and skills so that it can actually do all of the vibe coding for you, so that you just talk to a main orchestration agent and that agent can handle everything that's going on inside of your workspace. So we're gonna focus in a little bit on this today. We had a good brainstorming session yesterday, and that's what we're gonna focus in on. But guys, I don't know if you guys did see this, but we did get a repost from Elon Musk. Check this out. This is actually pretty cool. So if you guys look at BridgeMind, there was a post right here. This is actually awesome. So this post right here, you guys can see it has 5 million impressions. You guys see this post? 5 million impressions here, which is insane. I think that may be one of the best X posts I've ever had. But Elon Musk himself did repost this. If we go to, hold on, view post activity, and you go to, yeah, quotes, Elon Musk, he quoted it. He said, try Composer 2.5. So that was pretty cool. That was really cool. But today we're going to be focusing in on this particular feature of BridgeSpace, and we're just going to say, hey, let's lock in for a 3-hour sprint, and let's make this better, period. Qwen 3.7 Max is now an open router, future AGI just said on Twitch. Let's go check that out. But yeah, so that was huge. Hold on, let's go check out open router. So open router, somebody just said that Qwen 3.7 Max is in, oh wow, it is. Okay, wow. Yeah, so this did just drop on open router, guys. This just dropped. So this, oh wow, that's actually big right there. Hold on. Let's make a quick X post about this, but this model is actually pretty crazy. If you guys didn't see this on artificial analysis, this model here is like a very, very good model. It's right up there with GPT 5.5 and Claude Opus 4.7 in terms of intelligence, which is crazy. It's crazy. Finesco, what's up? How's it going? But yeah, this is the 5th time that Elon Musk reposted. But yeah, that's crazy. Let's actually benchmark this in BridgeBench real quick. Let's see how it does on BridgeBench. Let's put it in here. Let's go over to BridgeSpace real quick. And I do want to go over here. And I'm just going to say, I'm going to drop it in. Hold on. I accidentally copied that. Okay. Let's go over here. Let's grab this off Open Router. Let's go over here. And let's drop this in. Let's see how this model performs on BridgeBench. Drop it in. I need you to review this screenshot, and I need you to assist me in benchmarking this inside of BridgeBench. Launch a sub-agent to benchmark this on each of the BridgeBench v2 benchmarks, review BridgeBench, and then launch each sub-agent accordingly. Yeah, we're going to test Qwen, but remember, guys, hold on. So we're going to drop this in. So we're just going to do BridgeBench and then BridgeBench UI, and we'll see how it performs. These Qwen models actually do very well on BridgeBench. But let's just drop this in. But guys, let's focus in a little bit and let's do some goals today. So I'm going to show you guys pretty much like this bridge agent here. It's gone through a little bit of like trial and error, right? So pretty much it has tools, and let's just kind of like grab one of these Claude agents and let's just have it do a quick overview of the bridge orchestration agent. I want you to do an overview of all of the functionality and tooling associated with the Bridge Jarvis agent inside of BridgeSpace. Gain a complete understanding of the tool calling and how it works. And I want you to provide me with a detailed summary of what APIs it's connected to, how it's built, what tools it has, what models it's using, and how it works in a clear and concise way for my understanding. So let's just do this. We're gonna get a quick summary of kind of just how it's working, and we wanna then go based off of that. But we're gonna integrate a ton of functionality into this, and we're gonna make it way more reliable. And then we're gonna ship a new version of BridgeSpace today that has these updates, because there's so much that we can do with this. I think this has been a little bit overlooked, to be completely honest. Christiva said, congrats on the Elon repost. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Can you test the front end on Qwen 3.7 Max? Yes. So that's what this is actually doing right here. If you look at this, that's what this is doing. We're putting it through BridgeBench, so we'll get all of those HTMLs, all those HTML files out of it, and I think that that'll be really good. But let's just see this bridge agent. First things first, like let's get an overview of where we're at. But like, even if you guys saw that, I'll prompt all the agents in this workspace. I said prompt all the agents on this workspace. Like it just doesn't really have a very good like communicative skill, and like the communication with the end user isn't very great. Like watch this. Like let's just talk to it real quick and see what it can do. Hey there, Bridge. How are you? So hey there, Bridge. How are you?
Good, thanks. What's up?
What can you see in my code base? So what can you see in my code base? I'm curious of like, I'm pretty sure it has the entire context of the code base. So that's good. That's what we want. But we're going to make this so much better. Yes, Fury, you can make it a female voice. So I just asked it, can you see my code base? But this is what I'm saying. I think that this is like, we were brainstorming a lot yesterday as a community, and it's like just interesting because it's like, I think there's a lot that can be done if you can just focus your efforts. And that's really...
I see 23 sub-projects under the root. Big ones include Bridge Code, BridgeMind-API, BridgeMind-UI, Bridge Agent, BridgeBench, and a few music and admin apps.
Want me to drill into anything specific?
So you guys can see it has the context of whatever project you're in. So for example, hey, if you're, and I'm pretty sure you can even reference specific things. Like I can drop in the BridgeVoice API, which I like that. So I can then reference this and I can then say, what is in this project here? So let's see if this works. And let's just get an understanding of where things are at. And you can see it attached this. Yeah, look at that.
It's an SJS backend
wow.
with
And that
Drizzle
processed
ORM,
that fast.
security audits, and a full remediation plan.
Okay.
Looks like the core API for Bridge-A-Mind. Want a deeper look?
Zenato said, congrats on everything that you have achieved. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. We're not quite there yet. Zenato said, I'm new, like for a couple streams here. Curious, how have you done everything that you have right now for 181 days or more? Yeah, so I mean, I've been on a journey. My journey started out 181 days ago with BridgeMind, and I just started live streaming, building. And the first thing that I built was like a goal app that didn't go anywhere. The second thing that I built was I spent a long time building out like a clipping agent called View Creator. And basically, I still use View Creator myself, but there really isn't that big of a market for clipping agents. It's a very big commodity, and it has very little like hype, or it's a very saturated market. So you have like Opus Clip, everybody. I think that I even saw yesterday, it was Higgsfield AI. They just released like their clipping agent. Descript has it. Restream has it. Everybody has a clipping agent. It's a commodity. So I failed with that one. It still makes up some of the revenue, but it's like that app. I don't even really maintain it. It's not it's you know, and that happens. But the thing is then we built the BridgeMind vibe coding ecosystem, and that has really been a good hit. So here we're just gonna dive into this, and I'm gonna explain how this works to you guys, and you guys will get a full understanding of where we're at, and then we'll brainstorm a little bit about how we're going to make this better, because I think that there's going to be some pretty low-hanging fruit where we can make it a lot better. Okay, so here are the endpoints related to this in our API. Okay, so we have 4 endpoints. Let's just go to the top here. So the models that we're using is for the default chat and tool calling. We are using Grok 4.1 fast non-reasoning. Okay, so this is the default chat and tool calling. Vision is using Grok 4.2 reasoning. The speech to text is XAI's Whisper class endpoint, and the text to speech is XAI's text to speech. Okay, so you guys can see that I'm using a lot of XAI and Grok here, and the reason is that, hey, if you guys go over to BridgeBench, it's actually pretty simple. Look at this. So if you guys didn't know, Grok has incredibly fast models. They have 500 billion parameter models that have very good reasoning capabilities, and then they also have very high speeds, and they have low hallucination rate. So that's why I use Grok. Grok isn't the best coding model if you're just going to use it for coding, but the thing is you can use it for things like this, and that's why we're using it with this bridge agent here. Squiddy, what's up? Chat said, I vibe coded my first app, inspiring it from you. Thank you for your contribution to the community. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Todd Hart, you're looking at what I'm working on right now, and this is going to be the sole focus of today, okay? So let's look at the tools. I want to look at just a brief overview of the tools that we have in this agent. So here is the Workspace file system, okay? So this is tool calling. So you have a get active workspace. You have a list terminals. You have a read terminals. You have a list files. You have a read file, a search files, grep workspace. And then for terminal control, you have submit prompt, spawn agent pane, spawn agent panes, close terminal, set terminal title, wait for terminal idle, execute in terminal. So you guys can see that we have in total about, what is that? Maybe like 12 tools in total. 12 tools in total. So let's see, like, I even think with this, like, first things first, like low hanging fruit, I'm pretty sure that the functionality associated with, hold on, let's actually move this over to its own workspace here. Whoa, okay. So look at this. So this is now in its own workspace. So this is what we're looking at here. And I don't think, like, let's go over here and let's try to prompt it again. I need you to prompt the agent in this terminal to give you a quick summary of what it's working on. So watch this. So I can give it this prompt, and I'm pretty sure that it's not properly submitting the prompts.
1 sec.
Let's see if it does it. It always says like 1 sec, and
it's
then
deep and a detailed overview of the Bridge Jarvis agent architecture. It's covering the voice system, tools, and function calling, safety layers, system prompt structure, and Workspace snapshot mechanics. Looks like it's still building out the full picture.
Okay. So you guys can see that, like, okay, I want you to prompt it with hello. Like I think the tool calling for prompting may be broken.
One sec.
Oh, I guess that did work. So it was able to prompt it.
Sent.
Hold on, let's move the desk down, chat. I'm gonna go off the treadmill. Okay. So it did send that. Let's move this. But yes, I think that. Okay, somebody said an idea for you, make it so you can have a Mac Mini or other computer hand off the task to that computer, then it will do and verify it makes a video or makes a picture and then shows it to the user. That's a little bit more like OpenClaw. This is, we're working on this workspace here. So like one thing that we're gonna build is we're gonna make it so that you can just say, instead of having to, right now, you have to tap to activate it. I wanna see if we can just make it so that, you guys see I'm like tapping and then it's listening now. I wanna see if I can make it so that it just says like, hey, like if I just say, hey, Bridge, it just automatically is able to pick up on that. So let's do that. So that's gonna be our first goal.
Got it. You want a hot word like hey bridge to auto-trigger listening without the tap. That'll need some voice activity detection plus wake word detection in the renderer. Want me to spin up an agent to sketch that out?
No, I would like you to just prompt this existing agent with a robust prompt on what we need and have it create a structured plan to integrate this functionality. We want a wake word, hey bridge, to be able to wake the agent. I'm pretty sure we'll just be able to do this. So like this would be a good test of like, okay, I just gave it this prompt, right? And I want this to be able to, and it did it. Look at that.
Sent. Claude's got the task.
Okay, nice. Okay, that's actually pretty good. Why is your ARR fluctuating? It's actually fluctuating less than I thought it would. So if you guys didn't know, last month is when we launched BridgeSpace 3. And I think that now we're going to kind of lock in a little bit during the streams towards BridgeSpace 4. But I'll show you guys the Stripe dashboard. So here's the Stripe dashboard, okay? And this is what I'm looking at. So let's do the last, let's just do the last 3 months, right? And I'm actually I'm in a little bit of a better mood today, because yesterday I was a little bit worried that today we were going to have like a ton of churn. But that actually was not the case. ARR has gone up a little bit. So what's happened is last month, if you look at this huge, we basically skyrocketed over a 4-day period. And that was great. That was the launch of BridgeSpace 3. We've been trending upwards, but now we're seeing some churn because people that didn't want to keep their subscription from last month's launch are churning around this time. Okay, and we haven't really done a ton of marketing efforts to really get us to the next level. So I think that we're seeing this churn happen now, but that's okay. That's to be expected. And like, we're not gonna like feel sorry about it. It can be a little bit stressful, and I think that you guys can get that. And we were talking about that a little bit yesterday. But hey, at the end of the day, just wake up and give it your best. Okay, Redden said, what was the idea behind this TTS voiceover? Have you found a case where that's actually useful? Yeah, I mean, like, even like in this case right here, right? So this bridge agent has the full context of the code base, okay? So even here, I don't necessarily have to review the output. So instead, I'm just gonna talk to this, and I wanna use this more because I think that it's gonna give us ideas to be able to then prompt it. So let's try this here. Okay, great work. It's now done. Would you review its output and think through what the next step is? Don't prompt it yet, but just tell me if it has a good plan or not. All right, so we're pretty much going to be orchestrating this Claude agent. And what we can do is we can even add in an additional Claude agent here.
Solid plan. It's concrete, references the right files, and breaks it into phases. The open decisions at the end are smart too. Next step should be locking down the engine choice and confirming whether phase 1 renderer only is enough for a first pass, or if we want the Rust background path from the start. Once that's settled, wakeword.ts and the config changes are the right place to start.
Okay, great work. Would you now write a robust system prompt to have it proceed with next steps to integrate this functionality and launch sub-agents to do so. So, like, really what you're looking at here is, and we're going to make it better today, but I think that we can
1 sec.
look at that. So look at this.
Sent. Claude's coordinating now.
So it just submitted this entire prompt that's very detailed that I didn't have to write. So I orchestrate with the orchestrator agent. It prompts for me. I now need you to launch 2 more Claude Code agents in this workspace. Let's see if this works.
1 sec.
Nice, nice. Okay, 2 Claude Code agents, perfect.
Both up.
Great work. Now, similar to that initial Claude agent that we were working with, would you prompt both of these agents to review the BridgeSpace directory and review all functionality associated with the Bridge Jarvis voice orchestration agent so that they both do a complete review of all the tools and functionality associated with it before they proceed with work? So this, we'll pass this into it and it'll be able to prompt both of them, okay? And there's just so much that we can do with it.
1 sec.
David said your post has been shared by Elon Musk. Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah. I mean, thank you,
Both
Elon.
prompted.
But look at this. So this is actually, so you can see, review the BridgeSpace Tari directory and give me a complete overview of all the functionality and tooling associated with the BridgeVoice orchestration agent inside of BridgeSpace. Cover the full architecture, voice pipeline, tools, config, safety, and how it integrates with the Workspace and terminal system. Be thorough. So what this is doing is this is basically prompting for me. And today, I think that this is the main thing that I'm going to focus on. And honestly, like, I launched this and I haven't used it enough myself. I'm so used to just vibe coding how I normally do with prompting myself that I'm like looking at it now and I'm like, hey, one thing about BridgeSpace that makes it very unique, and shout out to Stain for this because I think he was the one that actually gave me the idea, is that, basically just like, hey, this is actually something that's very, very good with it. Yeah, Nevo, thank you. Yeah, yesterday, I was just struggling a little bit yesterday. I mean, there's ups and downs in entrepreneurship, and hey, that's part of the journey that I want to share with you guys is, hey, I don't want to be like some like fake person that's just like inauthentic and not real. I want to be genuine, and I want to share with you guys all the ups and all the downs. And did some already churn? A little bit, but not too much. Like, honestly, like, hey, when you have only like what, $500 worth of churn, that's not bad. And I think that, like, hey, we can either sit around and we can be like, oh dang, like, some of them churned and, I'm upset about it or whatnot, or, this is hard. It's like, get over yourself and like wake up and move forward. Like, if you guys are disappointed, if you're watching this stream right now and you're like down, like, just, it's okay. Like, that's totally normal. If you're watching right now and you're like, I don't know what to build, I feel stuck, that's very normal. And it's actually like, that feeling is good, because that's how you grow. And I think, like, hey, there's going to be ups and downs whenever you're doing something like this. And at the end of the day, like, you just have to wake up, you have to move forward, and you just have to keep on pushing forward. Like, that's it. There's no other option, right? I want to ask if Open Code Good is free to start. I think so. If you have a low budget Open Code, they have like some free Chinese models. Now, you are going to get rate limited and it's not that great, but I think definitely something to look for. Okay, great work. Now, note that we are going to be improving the BridgeVoice orchestration agent. The first thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to be building out settings for the Bridge agent to enable it with skills, a better system prompt so users can customize it, and just like a settings. And this should go in the Bridge tab in the right sidebar of BridgeSpace. There should be a settings icon where users are able to click it and customize their settings for Bridge. Review this, and you can prompt one of these agents that just did one of the reviews to build this functionality. Just have it start basically with a system prompt and some skills, etc. Okay, so it's gonna prompt one of these agents, okay? And Aster, let's go, man, and we'll talk soon. Churn happens. That's the nature of the business, 100%. I had a moment that I was down, took a break for 2 hours, back to work. Let's go. Yeah, no pain, no gain.
One of the agents
so yeah,
just did the review to start building the
look
Bridge
at this.
settings UI with skills and system prompt customization.
It actually is doing a pretty good job.
Now.
So if you look at this, it said, now that you have reviewed the Bridge Jarvis voice architecture, I want you to build settings functionality for the Bridge agent in the right sidebar of the BridgeSpace. Create a settings panel accessible via a settings icon in the Bridge tab. Start with a toggle to disable custom skills, a text area for users to customize the system prompt, basic persistence so settings survive reloads. So now something that people were asking, Twencher over on X, what's up? How's it going? I have no idea how he manages to renew his energy so quickly, even have enough to encourage and motivate others to keep going. I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, you know, hey, I could have not streamed today. I could have chosen to not show up, but it's like, hey, we just don't have time for that, guys. Like on this mission, we just don't have the option. So we gotta find that passion. Okay, great work. I now want you to prompt the other agent that did the other review to do an in-depth review of the prompting techniques that Bridge has and brainstorm with 2 deep dive agents how it could improve them. We want Bridge to have incredible prompt engineering techniques where it can take what the user requested and be able to write robust system prompts to coding agents for the user. Launch 2 deep dive agents and brainstorm how we could potentially improve this. Okay, so this will even submit another system prompt to this. It should be this agent right here. If this is right, it should be this agent here. Am I going to create my own LLM? Potentially. Okay, perfect. It did it perfectly. Okay, nice.
Sent. That agent's analyzing the current prompting and will spin up 2 deep dive agents to brainstorm improvements. Okay,
nice. Okay, great work. I now need you to launch 2 Codex agents in this workspace. Okay, honestly, yeah, this is actually working a lot better than I thought.
Both Codexes up.
Okay, great work. I now need you to prompt both of these Codex agents to do an in-depth review of BridgeSpace, in particular reference to the Bridge Orchestration agent, just like we did with the other Claude Code agents. So with this one, I think that like there's a couple things that users are asking for. One of them is like, it's...
Both Codexes prompted.
Okay, nice. Yeah, so they're both prompted. Yeah, and these are on extra high. I will say, though, if you guys were watching the end of the stream yesterday, I was actually, this was broken, right? Like, it was not working, and we had to do a couple things to actually fix this. But this one's still working on the Hey Bridge functionality. These are gonna work, but the thing is like, a lot of people, they ask me, like, man, it would be really cool if in the Bridge agent, if I could see, like, the terminals and what each one was working on in each of the terminals. Let's see if we could build that. We'll do a follow-up prompt here in a second. Let's go. But yeah, that's gonna be big. Any chance of a student discount for BridgeMind in the future would be awesome to have that option. Potentially, yeah. I mean, sometimes I do fire sales on the streams. While these are working, okay, so this is actually working like really, really well here. I'm happy with how this is working. Let's close down some of these agents just to close some of them that we're not working on currently. Also, somebody did ask, they said, hey, I'm working on something for creators and stuff. And here's what I will say, if you're working on something for like a creator, just like I did with like View Creator, right? And I see somebody else in the space that, you know, hey, they're like clipping agents are gonna struggle. You know, I think that it's something that if you're working on a clipping agent, it's very easy to understand, right? Like, hey, you're working on a clipping agent, but I will just tell you this, like, and I don't mean, if somebody's working on a clipping agent, I don't mean to like dishearten you. It's just that like, you have to be very smart on what you work on and what market you enter and how you're spending your time. And you do have to put thought into, okay, like, how am I going to build something and why am I going to build it? And is there a market for it? And sometimes like the answer to that is there is not a market on it. And like with a clipping agent, as a creator, right, as somebody that is creating content, that's putting content out, I am going to be inclined to use like an Opus clip. I'm going to be inclined to use a Restream. Like Restream, I have it clip my streams automatically, and it's very cheap. It does it very well. And I just think that like clipping is something that, you know, people think is going to be big, but it is a commodity at this point. Yeah, I am on Twitch. Focus on Vibe Academy and BridgeSpace, 100%. Yeah, I mean, what I'm focused on right now is this feature right here. This is what we're building out today, and I think that this is actually about to be done here in a second. We'll be able to test this here on Bridge. Let's go over here, and let's go to Appearance, and let's go to... I just want to change the theme real quick. That looks fine. Okay, so this one here, Agent 2, okay, there's... Okay, great work. I now need you to launch one more Claude Code agent and give it the same prompt to review the Bridge agent functionality. Okay, so we'll launch another one.
1 sec. Up. Now prompting it. Sent.
All right, cool. It's better to launch multiple agents on one task to keep it robust and works faster, 100%. All right. So once this one finishes, what we're going to do is we are going to... we're gonna have it build like functionality where I want to see what each terminal is working on. So we have tasks here, but this here, like, let's expand this. There are no tasks, right? So this is something where help me wire up the auth refactor, make a list of the bugs in the Swarm runner. Great work. Would you make a task list of what's being worked on right now so that we keep track of it? So this should happen automatically. Let's see if it does it though right now.
1 sec. Done. 4 tasks tracking the streams.
Okay, look at this. Okay, so this one here, so it was able to create the tasks, but this definitely needs some improvement, okay? What are we working on today? So what we're working on today is we're solely focusing in on this bridge agent here. So literally, I haven't written a single prompt to any of these agents. It's all been done via this agent here. So even like right here, final tool service, plan handoff, verify submission. Okay, so let's expand this one real quick and see. Okay, do you guys see this? Constas said Jarvis is probably my favorite BridgeMine feature. Thank you. Okay, so this is very interesting. Okay, if you guys are watching the stream, by the way, and haven't already liked and subscribed, make sure you do so. But look at this. So this looks interesting, but like this here, I think this is the problem that I have. Okay, so these two are now kind of like done, right? And if I don't even know what they're working on. I mean, I do have the terminal titles review, but like this terminal title kind of gets outdated, right? So this one here, would you review the two Claude Code agents that are now done and give me a quick update on where they're at in their process and what they're working on? And I don't know if it'll be able to identify that, hey, these two Claude Code agents are done.
1 sec.
Is it gonna... No, see, so that's a bug. It just launched.
Done. 2 more Claudes up.
Yeah, that's not what I wanted it to do. So you guys see that? So that's an issue. So I said, would you review the two Claude codes that are now done and give me a quick update on where they're at and what process they're working on? And it just goes, oh no, okay, here's 2 new Claudes. And then, so I'm just gonna drop this in and say, look at what just happened. I prompted you to review the 2 Claude Code agents that were finished working, and you just launched 2 new Claude Code agents. That's not what I asked you to do. Would you submit a prompt into one of the new Claude Code agents that you did just open up that is a robust system prompt to have the agent do an in-depth review of why this happened in your harness and pinpoint what we need to update to figure this out and fix this?
One sec.
All right.
Sent.
But look at this.
2 more Claudes up. Now
So-
prompting 1.
So that's
Sent.
that's
That
a bug
agent's
right
digging
there.
into the harness
So that's a
logic
bug.
now.
Yeah, so that's the bug in the harness. So I prompted so let's see what prompt it even did right here. I prompted Bridge to review 2 Claude Code agents, and instead it launched 2 new ones. Do an in-depth review of the Bridge harness, specifically the Workspace snapshot parsing, terminal state tracking, how Bridge decides what agents are done versus still running, identify why the misfire happened. It would have been nice to if it had given it the context. Judd Cooks over on Twitch said, love it, man. Keep it up. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. All right. That looks good. But, like, yeah, that's an issue there. Just with it just, like, is opening up new ones where, hey, for example, I want to... I mean, you know what an interesting feature would be? Is if you could drag and drop terminals into Bridge... and that would be the context. It would reference that terminal. Let's do it. Let's build it. So in this case, I have so many agents that are now working. I'm a little bit worried that Bridge is like, that's the problem right here. Like that would be a super useful feature. Like if I could just drag and drop this, that would be very nice. Guys, I don't want to do any crypto stuff. There's a lot of people in the chat that are saying that they have a crypto coin. I'm not going to endorse any crypto coins. Okay, let's do this, and I need you to review the functionality associated with the Bridge Jarvis agent inside of BridgeSpace and launch 2 deep dive agents and gain a complete understanding of the harness. And note that we need to create functionality so that I can add the context of a specific terminal to the Bridge Jarvis chat by dragging and dropping the terminal header into the chat area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to submit this prompt, okay? And then what I'm going to do is I am going to screenshot this, and I'm just going to watch this. So I'm going to screenshot the whole context of this. And what I want to be able to do is I want to be able to grab this terminal header here and just drag and drop it into this to add it as context. So I'm just going to use CleanShot X here. I'm going to drag and drop this image in, and now it has the image. Review this image for reference. Okay, so we'll submit this. And I think that this is going to be, and this is the sole focus of today's stream, because somebody actually gave me the idea for this. Shout out to Stain. Yesterday was a little bit more of a challenging day for me. Also, it does look like this is done. This Hey Bridge functionality is enabled now. Let's see if it works. I mean, I don't know if that will work. Let's just see. I wonder if Hey Bridge. I don't know. I don't know if this is gonna work. So it's this one here. But yeah, that's definitely needed. If you want this to be more useful. Excuse me, guys. Okay, so if you want this to be more useful, you're going to have to make it so that you can drag and drop the terminals for reference. Because if you have an orchestration agent at the top and you're trying to have it like prompt things, like if I told this agent, if I said, hey, I want you to follow up on this workspace, it wouldn't know what workspace. And sometimes it can be very challenging to do that, okay? So if you look at that, it's like, I can't, right now there's, what is this? There's 5 up here, 3 down here. There's 8 terminals that are working in this workspace, okay? And what we need to do is we need to make it so I can drag and drop a terminal and it'll paste it in and it'll have the entire context of that workspace so that I can then just reference it from there. I think that's what you're gonna have to do if you really wanna empower this. Also the task list, we won't worry about that now, but that's definitely a big feature that we're gonna wanna build. Let's clean up our workspace a little bit here. I'm going to close out of a couple of these. Okay. Let's go over here. I am going to close out of this one. So we're just going to keep it clean and simple. Three. Okay. I tried this on Cursor and Codex. Don't you need like tracking git diff of the workspace so it's easier to know what's done, what's running, and you just have a status and you can reference @agents in the chat? What do you mean by that? How do you keep running the new updates without restarting your whole program? I do just have a dev server running. So like what I'll do is I'll have like, I did ship out a new update to BridgeSpace this morning. It was 3.0.64. and that went out this morning. But then like you can't update without losing, like you can't update something. It has to like actually restart. Okay, this is working here. So let's just expand this one here and see how can I get this running and test it. Thank you, Sir Jeff. Also, guys, we are going to do a giveaway during this stream. We'll probably do it around 300 likes or 500 likes or something like that. But, I mean, I'm very, very interested in this. And, like, one thing that I would say that, like, you guys should know, and this is definitely something about me that, like, I know this about myself. I thrive on like doing something that actually like gives me purpose and something that I'm passionate about. So if you guys are working on something that and you don't really like, you're not very like motivated, like a lot of people are like, how do you get so much motivation? You just have to find something that you're going to be passionate about. And like lately it's been a little bit more challenging to me because, you know, hey, ARR was going through the roof, right? And it's stalled out a little bit because the vibe coding in general, when there's not a lot of model releases that people are excited about, what happens is there's not as much traction in the space. Like right now, we got GPT 5.5, we got Claude Opus 4.7, and those launches, both of them were subpar. If you guys are in the vibe coding space, I've been in this space for 3.5 years now. These launches were not it. They were not impressive. Nobody thought that these launches were big, like big improvements. Yeah, you can change the theme. Roxy, what's up? How's it going? Okay, let's look at this. So install the new dependency. Get the model file. No, what the heck? No, we just need this to work out of the box in BridgeSpace now. I have the dev server running. Make sure that you get dependencies installed and tell me how I can toggle this on so that it works. Okay, let's submit this. Also, guys, we need Mythos. The thing about Mythos is it probably is like a little bit. I'm assuming that Mythos is like not a great model, to be honest with you. Like, I know that it's like it has a ton of people are talking about it a lot, but I would just assume that this model is not super robust in terms of like it probably is like a little bit slow. For example, 185K, is that real? It is, yes. I'll show you the Stripe dashboard right now. But yeah, I mean, the thing is like there's ups and downs to this. The highest that our ARR has been, oh wow, look at this, guys. It looks like revenue is going up. This, man, honestly, I have been pleasantly surprised. I've been very much so pleasantly surprised about how things are going this week. I was expecting a massive drop off. I was expecting to see like 180K ARR, but we're not seeing that. We're seeing 15K, 15.5, and it looks like things are ticking up. I mean, when I started the stream, we were at 384. That's up like $200 almost. So we're moving up, guys. We're moving up, and I think that like, hey, we're gonna lock in. We're gonna focus in on BridgeSpace and make it better. And yeah, I mean, things are going good. Dave Post over on Facebook. What's up? How's it going? Okay, so let's see if we can get that working. But you guys can see that, okay, it looks like this is already in. Let's see if this works. So you guys see this here? So it said that it's a 3-line fix. So let's open up dev here and see if this is actually built in now. So let's go over to Bridge here and let's see if we can drag and drop. No, I don't see that. Okay, it's not implemented yet. Yes, I want you to implement all 3. Okay, Devacode said, I think he does not read Twitch chat, just YouTube. What does that say? I do see Twitch chat. It's just a bunch of people were spamming about like crypto stuff, and I don't want anything to do with crypto stuff, guys. I'm not 23 anymore. I'm 23 in 10 months. Okay? I'm 23 in 10 months. I'm almost 24, chat. I'm almost 24. I'm getting old. Okay, why don't you make the BridgeVoice disappear if you're not pressing the key to make it work, just like WhisperFlow? I'm pretty sure WhisperFlow, you just always see it at the bottom. You still see WhisperFlow at the bottom. Okay, so this is like, I feel like this is a problem when vibe coding. Is I would like to make it so that, like, right now, for example, right, I have 5 terminals open at the top, 3 terminals open at the bottom. And this is the problem that I'm trying to solve today. I'm going to solve this problem today. I don't know what the current status of all these terminals are. I don't know what all of them are working on. If I do a better job of like understanding what each one is working on, I can do that. If I hover over here, I can see that this one was reviewing the BridgeVoice, the Bridge Jarvis voice orchestrator, right? But at this point, what is the next step that needs to be done in this terminal? I'm actually not sure. I'm not sure exactly what needs to be done in this terminal. So I actually think that the task that this one's working on is very important, because what we're trying to do is we're trying to make it so that basically I'll be able to just drag and drop. If you guys look at this is what I referenced this agent. I want to be able to drag and drop a terminal into Bridge and just have, once I drag and drop it, then it'll have the full context of that terminal. And then I can prompt Bridge for that particular workspace, okay? And then I could basically say, hey, what needs to be done in this workspace? And then it's gonna say, okay, this needs to be done. And then I'm gonna say, would you prompt it for me? And then it does have really good prompt engineering strategies, and it has full context of the code base so that I don't even have to prompt it anymore, okay? And this is the full focus of today's stream. We're gonna make this literally insanely good. But with that being said, guys, let's bust out a 30 bomb, okay? As you guys know, it's like, here's one thing that I wrote up, okay? I'm not gonna let you guys down, okay? I'm gonna show up and I'm gonna give it my best every single day, and I'm gonna be real with you guys. I'm gonna be genuine with you guys, and there's gonna be days that we're up, there's gonna be days that we're down, and as a community, we're gonna experience them all together, you know? And that's just, we're gonna push forward, and we're gonna make it happen. And I think that, look at this bug right here that we're seeing. You guys see this? I don't know which one. I think this CSP, there's a bug with the CSP or something. What happened to that UGC thing that you were working on? I stopped focusing on it because, like, here's the thing, and I wish I stopped focusing on it sooner. But like with View Creator, for example, there is just not a big market for like clipping. Clipping is useful, but like, for example, if I'm trying to market a product, like, just know that if you have a product that is a clipping agent, I think that you have you should be a little bit worried, because there's a ton of clipping agents, and they're all the same, okay? And I think that there's a lot of things that are commodity, right? And they get commoditized, and the competition kind of gets encroached, and like it becomes very hard to compete and be different. And the reason that I stopped focusing on that is because it wasn't working. I had focused on it for I think 90 days of the journey, right? And I was just like, hey, this obviously isn't working. We've got like $2,000 in MRR based off of this, you know, what we have right now. Let's figure out how we can pivot, and let's move forward. And that's what we did. We took everything that we learned. Let's see if we can drag and drop this. So I want to be able to drag and drop this over here, and I don't see it. It's not, you guys see this? It's not doing it. I should be able to drag and drop that terminal over, and once I drag and drop it, it should basically upload that terminal, and I should be able to see that that terminal has been attached to the next message that I send. And when I send that message, it should basically send that terminal's ID or whatever needs to be done, so that the Bridge orchestration agent does know that this is the terminal that I'm referencing for that chat. You have to have a competitive moat, 100%, yeah. So especially like if you are like doing something, you can like follow a trend or something. But yeah, I mean, I think that like with clipping, it's just gonna be pretty tough. Yeah, I want to be able to drag it. Did you try Qwen 3.7 Max? I did. Yes. Let's open up an agent real quick. I thought I may have made a little bit of a mistake because I did cancel out of that agent. Let's see if the results are in BridgeBench. Hold on. Do we have results for Qwen 3.7 yet? Oops. It probably knows I was talking about Qwen 3.7. Okay, let's go back over here. So this one was kind of confused, but I think that this is a big problem when you're vibe coding. Also for BridgeVoice, I just checked Whisperflow. It has an option in the system config where it says show at all the time, and it can be turned on and off. That's actually a really good prompt there. Magic, let's go. Let's go. All right, let's bust out a 30 bomb, chat. Let's hit a 30 bomb. Let's go. Let's go, let's go. Okay, let's put another goal up on the board. Okay, 2 goals just went up. So we have Hey Bridge. So I'm gonna be able to say Hey Bridge and it's gonna be able to activate so I don't have to click on it all the time. The second goal is I wanna make it so that I can literally just drag and drop this because this is the biggest issue, okay? Astro said do some diamond push-ups. What's up, by the way, Astro? Fizo, what's up? Okay, so if you look at this, this is the biggest problem that I see. And this is the problem that we're gonna solve today is that like, this is how you vibe code, right? You have a bunch of tasks that are being worked on. And even right now, if I'm trying to work on these, right? Like, I'm like, okay, what is this one currently working on? What is this one currently working on? What is this one currently working on? And this is one thing with vibe coding that like, hey, if you're a vibe coder and you've gotten really good at vibe coding, then hey, you're gonna be good at this. You're gonna be good at like understanding what each terminal is working on. But you can easily like get out of whack of like, okay, what's this one working on, right? And we just want to make it so I can just drag and drop, boom, drag and drop. Devacode said, got a question, the context of all those workspaces, where does that get saved so you don't lose track? What do you mean the context of the workspaces? Super Combo just dropped in a GitHub. Oh, wake word. Oh, yes. Okay. Super Combo, thank you, man. So Super Combo just dropped this in. So I'm pretty sure that we're actually using this. So this is an open source audio wake word detection framework with a focus on performance and simplicity. And I'm pretty sure that we actually are using that. If we go over here, I'm pretty sure that we're using it. Okay, Onyx runtime. Hold on here. Maybe not. I guess we're not. Yeah. Oh, no, yeah, we are. Look at this. Yeah, so that we are working on this. If you guys look at this, you guys can see open wake word. You guys see this? So it is using that directory. Thank you, Super Combo. We're already using that. Devacode over on Twitch said, because you have so many turbos open, all of the context of the work of those sessions, are you saving it to have the context? If so, how? Because I saw you can use Obsidian to do so, and I think you've talked about it. Yes. So there is a solution with BridgeSpace that's called Bridge Memory. So if you go over here and you open this is Bridge Memory. So this is how I'm handling memory systems, okay? So for example, this is the memory of BridgeMind UI. So this is how the agents interact. And if you ever want to use this, it actually is very simple. So if I pull up BridgeMind, right, all I have to do is there's a skill over here that I can just, it's literally right here. If you look at this one, Bridge Memory, I can just drag and drop this. I want you to review the memory of what is in the BridgeMind UI memory and give me a quick recap. So we'll do a quick recap and you'll see kind of how this works. Also, this needs to be fixed. Do you guys see how annoying that is? If I'm clicked into something, do you see I was clicked into this here and I gave a prompt and it submitted the prompt down here. Why did it do that? So, Wisio, thank you, man. I appreciate you. If you guys haven't already liked and subscribed, make sure you do so. At 300 likes, we are going to be doing a piano performance, and then we are going to be doing a giveaway today. Look at this. You can see it's calling bridge memory 2 times, and it does work through local MCP. So it's working through local MCP, and here it just basically did an entire memory recall using bridge memory, and it just is very nice to just be able to use that skill and just drag and drop. It makes it very simple to do that. But let's go over here. The tasks definitely need to be revisited, but this is the one I'm mostly focused on right now. Let's see what this one's working on here. Kimi K 2.6 is second best for UI behind Opus. Yeah, that is true. So if you guys are familiar with Design Arena, the only caveat, so if you guys don't know Super Combo, he's one of the most, I've talked to him many times and he knows what he's talking about. But yes, this is what Super Combo is referring to. That's why he has his certification. But look at this. So it's Kimi K 2.6 is right here. But there's a problem with Kimi K 2.6 that a lot of people may not tell you about. So Kimi K 2.6, it's like, okay, look at this. It scores on Design Arena, which is a benchmark for like how well a AI model is able to design. So it's like, oh wow, 1340, it does pretty well. But check this out, guys. If you go to OpenRouter and you go to KimiK 2.6, there is a problem with KimiK 2.6, okay? And I'll show you the problem. If you go over to Moonshot AI, which is down here, where is it? Right here. Oh wow, they've actually made this better. Okay, I may have spoken a little bit too soon. So it is at 45 tokens per second. It's at 45 tokens per second. So, I mean, we may have to retest. I may retest KimiK 2.6 here soon, because the last time I used KimiK 2.6, the tokens per second was 20. And it was like basically unusable, but it looks like they're getting a hang on that. So we may want to retest that at some point. Okay, let's look at these. It looks like this one is maybe taking a little bit longer, and this one may be more difficult to build. Okay, you'll need to restart once the window comes back. Top right gear settings, Bridge Assistant. Okay, let's restart. Let's restart BridgeSpace real quick. So I'm just gonna go. Where is it? I think it's right here. Yeah. Okay, so let's restart it. Once it's restart, so we're gonna do Tari dev local test with Cerebras. It's 1,000 tokens per second. It is 1,000 tokens per second, but it's only for enterprise customers. I don't think that we have access, like your common person doesn't have access to it. Why don't you put the logo of BridgeMine in the desktop app of Swarm agents you have? Would look nicer. No. Wait, what do you mean? Because it's over here. Or are you talking about BridgeSwarm, or what are you referring to? Also, shout out to everybody that's watching over on Twitch right now. Shout out to you guys. Okay. Huge. Okay. All right. Codex keeps a registry of named agent workers, each with its own thread. The UI lists them under background tasks, and when you add an agent, the chat router sends your message to. That's cool. Okay. What do you think of Impeccable? I actually do have Impeccable installed. Okay. So let's test this out. So it's saying that it's done, that it's built. I don't know about that though. I mean, I'm not seeing. Hey, Bridge. Hold on here. Let's go to Bridge. The music just got cut off, didn't it? Okay, wake word. Okay, so you guys see this? It's right here. So if you guys look at this, it has a wake word. Let's test this. So I just toggled this on. This is what it just built. Hey, Bridge. Bridge keeps the mic on and watches for the wake phrase. Mic indicator stays lit while this is on. Phase 1 only listens while the BridgeSpace window is focused. Background listening ships later. All right. So let's see if this works. Let's just launch a new workspace here. We'll test it. Hey, Bridge. Hey, Bridge. That's not working. Yeah, I saw the Elon retweet. That was awesome. Yeah, it's not working. Hey, Bridge. Yeah, it's not working. I just toggled it on and it did not work. Would you do a deep dive with 2 subagents and figure out why that happened? I said, hey, Bridge, perfectly, and it did not launch. Is there a way to have your agents have bypass always on by default? Yeah, so I actually have all of mine on bypass permissions by default. I never have any of mine in, without that on. Okay, let's look at this here. So this looks like this is done. Let's see if it works, though. So we should be able to grab one of these terminals and actually put it. Yeah, look at this. Nice. Okay, this actually did this perfectly. So drag to attach to Bridge. So if I drag it, look at that. That is perfect, guys. That is perfect. You guys see this? So it attached this Claude Code here. And let's just try this, guys. I want you to prompt this Claude Code session with a hello. All right, let's see this. So attached Claude Code. So it should prompt this one.
Got it. Sending hello to that Claude.
I don't see it working. So somebody said, what is the current project all about? I'm a new viewer. So what you're looking at, this is BridgeSpace, okay? This is an ADE. It has 550 paying active subscribers. And really what we're gearing up for is we're focusing in, especially on this stream, you know, honestly, I was a little bit down yesterday. You know, I've got a lot more responsibilities that I'm dealing with BridgeMind as it's grown. And I'm kind of navigating that, you know, something that gets you from 0 to 1, or the strategy that gets you from, in my case, like the strategy that got me from 0 ARR to 50,000 ARR is a different strategy that got me from 50,000 ARR to 180,000 ARR. And the strategy to get from 180,000 ARR to 300,000 ARR is a different strategy, right? And that's really what I have my mind on is, you know, 100,000 additional ARR. So it does drop it in, but it doesn't look like it prompted it, guys. It didn't prompt it. So I'm going to take a screenshot of this. So I did just test it. Now we are a little bit of a step closer because it did test it. Okay. Okay, I want you to note that it was able to properly drag and drop a terminal into the bridge agent, but it did not successfully prompt the agent, even though that I asked it to prompt it with hello. If you review the screenshot, you will see that for reference. Have you seen the $1 command code AI DeepSeek V4 Pro for $40? I have not. I don't think that the Chinese models compare to any of the frontier models right now. If you guys have seen Composer 2.5, I did put the BridgeMind stamp of approval on it. I did a review video on it this morning. Everybody's talking about Composer 2.5 right now, and I'll show you why. It's actually why are people talking about Composer? Isn't Composer like the model that was, you know, trained starting with Kimi K 2.6 and then gone from there? So if you guys look at this, so this is a post. Let's go over here real quick. So this is a post that I made. So check this out. So this is the post that I made yesterday. This was retweeted by Elon Musk. But yeah, so this is pretty much the post from yesterday. So this is Cursor Bench. If you guys haven't seen this, the jumper said the man in the arena. Let's go, dude. That's what I'm talking about. So look at this. Composer 2.5. This is number 3 on Cursor Bench. And yeah, so this is the tweet that Elon Musk reposted. It got 5.4 million views. And, you know, I think that there's a little bit of a trade-off from this because this is a benchmark from Cursor. But one thing to note is, like, I was vibe coding yesterday and I did have a bug that I gave to Composer 2.5 and it was able to fix it very quickly and very, like, it codes at like 200 tokens per second. So it's like very fast, and you can actually, like, it's pretty intelligent. Like, you now have Composer 2.5 is way smarter than GPT-5 was. Just like if you guys remember when GPT-5 came out, like, you'll know that, okay, that was, think about all the hype that was around GPT-5. You now have a model that is, yes, okay, so somebody said, isn't it based on Kimi K 2.5? So it is based on Kimi K 2.5, and yes, like, that's what a lot of people say is they're like, isn't it based on Kimi K 2.5? Like, isn't that a problem? And I would say, yes, I do think that's a problem. Now, Cursor, they are training their own model, but one thing that I do want to draw your attention to is, like, if you look at Cursor, okay, if you go to there's actually a really interesting tweet on this. Okay, this is the Composer 2.5 launch tweet. Look at this. So this is what you need to know, okay? I'm going to give you guys the facts here. So it's trained on Kimi K 2.5, and Kimi K 2.5, that model, like, is not great, right? But look at this. So they used Kimi K 2.5 as the base, but this chart is saying that Composer training in RL makes up 85% of the compute. Okay, so 85% of the compute that went into the model was basically their own training in RL. And I think that this is like a really good diagnosis of this because it is better than Kimi K 2.5. It is. Now, it was built on that base, but they do say, if you look over here, they are going to be building their own model. So it'll be very interesting. It looks like Elon Musk is going to buy them out. He's obviously been, like, doing, like, some marketing for them, basically. But, I mean, I'm pretty impressed by the capabilities that you have in a model that is that cheap, that fast. ND said, I've never seen someone be such an effective vibe coder. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Okay, so this is going to audit the wake word. This one is asking questions here. For the gear placement, you can put it right here. And for the system prompt, you should append it as basically an additional prompt that's from the user that helps train Bridge and customize Bridge. For the custom skills, let's just load in some broad custom skills for now. For example, maybe it's like some security skills, some UI skills, etc., just as placeholders for now. So this is the one here, and this is the problem with like vibe coding, and I would love to fix that as well. If you guys saw it, dropped it in the wrong places again. But I want that gear icon to just go like right here. So again, I'm just gonna, you know, draw, hey, I want the gear icon right here. I want it right there. And we're gonna submit that. Okay, what do I need to do to gain this knowledge? Where do I start from? The best place to start is just by building. You can literally build whatever you want. This is why I'm trying to build Vibe Academy. I'm working on the content for it, but at the same time, I think that like, hey, when it comes down to it, you guys know this. I don't like creating content. I just don't. I don't like making YouTube videos. I don't like. I just don't like it. I don't like content creators in general. I've dealt with a lot of them, and I'm just not a big fan. If you guys see what I mean, like I just am not a big fan of content creation. And I'm not a content creator. I started out 3.5 years ago vibe coding and building is what I'm passionate about. And, you know, sometimes it's challenging for me when I know that I have to create content. It can be a little bit frustrating because I'm like, hey, if you want to succeed, you're probably going to have to create content so that you can do the marketing. But that's the predicament that you have. Like, if you're just building and building and building, and your product's probably never going to go anywhere, right? Because you don't have the visibility into your products. You have to market your product. You have to create content, at least in my opinion. Unless you have $1 million, not $1 million, but unless you have like a big budget to be able to spend on marketing, like the truth of it is that, hey, you're probably going to want to create content yourself. So if you're somebody that can speak well, articulate yourself well, or, you know, maybe you could just help, like, just train yourself to become that person. You know, I don't think that people aren't necessarily naturally, like, there's some people that are very natural with it, but, you know, you have to get better at it. And if you want to market your product, the best thing to do is put your face behind the product and create content and show people why your product is the best product. And that's what's worked for me. I've spent $0 on marketing, or not zero. I've spent a couple dollars on marketing, but like literally like less than 1,000, right? And for the amount of volume that I mean, if you look at the last 30 days, if we can even pull up the Stripe, I haven't spent any money on marketing in the last 30 days. And we made, I think the last 30 days was 27,000 now, which is just insane, right? Okay, let's see if this works. Let's launch another Claude Code agent here. And let's just launch 2 of them, okay? And what we'll see here is, now does this work? So we're gonna grab this, and this is the new feature that we're working on. This is one of our goals for the day. Let's drop this in, and I want you to review this Claude Code terminal and prompt it hello. Have you applied to SpaceX? I mean, I would not be against like getting acqui-hired by SpaceX, but I think that that's a little bit far-fetched. Okay, there we go. There we go.
I can't directly review or prompt the Claude terminal you dragged over, since I don't have a tool to read from or submit to that specific session.
Okay, well, let's fix that.
Would you like me to help you review it? Or should I prompt it with hello another way?
All right, so it did this time. So I'm going to send a follow-up prompt. I now want you to review this and note that it is now working. It was able to prompt that Claude Code agent with hello, but as you can see from the screenshot, it also told me that it doesn't have the tools to be able to review that terminal or prompt that terminal. Let's get this fixed. Let's actually create the tools for it. Okay, super combo. Wait, what'd he say? Would this not be a cool feature? Make each terminal to be named so you can add the terminal or the terminal name. I do think that would be a cool terminal. I think that dragging and dropping the terminal is a little bit of a better thing for now. But why would he apply for a job at SpaceX when he has his own company? Yeah, I mean, I think like the big thing where I'm at right now is that I mean, I could get investors for BridgeMind, but the thing is, I don't necessarily want investors because then the company isn't fully mine. I don't have a full say. I think that we've done an incredible job with the BridgeMind community. I mean, this is the #1 vibe coding community on the internet. So, like, I think that me working for somebody else, it would be pretty. I would have to be getting paid like a decent, like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I would do that, but I think it would be cool to get like acqui-hired. I think that's sick. I think that would be cool, but I don't know if that would ever happen. Abel said, what are you doing? So this is what I'm doing right now. So I'm working on a couple different things. So this one over here, this agent that you guys are looking at right now, this is actually working on a wake phrase for Bridge. So if you look at this, what you can see, wait, why is it changing this to Mycroft? Do you guys see this? Oh, it's testing it to see if it can say, hey, Mycroft. Oh, I don't like that. I mean, maybe the wake phrase is a little bit too much. Now it's probably a little bit too much. It is saying that it wants me to retest this, but that's working on a wake phrase, so I can just say, hey, Bridge, and then it starts recording, right? So I don't have to click it and to activate it. I think that would be cool. Also about the icon, I saw when you tabbed, it does not show the icon. Or is that another icon that you did? What do you mean when I tabbed? Okay, let's go over here and see if this now works. We may want to restart this. Let's let this one finish. This one's working on some settings here. Seems smooth for dev. Yeah, it's really good for dev. Drag and drop might be too much work. Just add a terminal icon to message input from which you can append. Use when in terminal as context or future prompting. Yeah, so I think that's a good point. But look at this. Look at this. So what I have already done is, look at this. We can just drag this terminal, and boom, just like that. We just dragged and dropped it, and it has this. You guys see how it says Claude Code? Let's see what it does if I do a Codex one, though. What does it do there? Because right now we're only doing Codex. If I do Claude Code, I think that's just because that's the name. Okay, that's the name of that terminal. What if I had a feature and build it out for BridgeVine that with 10x extra revenue and capabilities, would you consider a minority partner? Well, what would that be? We'd probably have to let me know what that be. Okay, Postweave, what's up? He said, I'm new to the channel. What is BridgeVine? So BridgeVine is a vibe coding ecosystem. I've been vibe coding for over 3.5 years now. We have a community. This is literally the largest vibe coding community on the internet. So if you're interested in vibe coding, or you are vibe coding, trying to learn vibe coding, have been learning vibe coding, and want to be a part of a community, this is by far the largest and fastest growing vibe coding community on the internet. We have over 10,000 people in our Discord. There's nobody that even comes close in terms of like a vibe coding community. So, what we have is, like, you're looking at a product here. This is BridgeSpace. It's an agent development environment that we've built that's currently grossing 185K ARR. Hold on, Aster said something. Make sure the wake phrase is privacy first. You don't want it constantly listening to the user. Yeah, so I did see, we can do that. I did see that the initial functionality for the wake phrase is that it only listens when it's like toggled in. We are ready to test a couple things out now. So let's kill the dev server and then run it again and see what it does. Fact said you're an inspiration. Thank you, man. I try my best. Okay, mute the app said check general. Okay, let me check general here. What's happening in general? Okay, so this is what somebody just said. They said, idea, you need to give each terminal an ID number as a verifier. You can show it in the terminal header. Then you could say, hey, Bridge, I need you to prompt X on the terminal 5 and prompt this to the terminal 4. The drag and drop idea is good, but this will be awesome. That's an interesting, so I think he's wanting an ID number as a verifier. That's interesting. So an ID number is what do you guys think about that? So shout out to John in the chat. So he thinks that potentially an ID number would potentially be better. Also, we are going to want to look at some BridgeSpace bugs here, but I think that we just want to focus in a little bit on building this out. So let's go over here. Let's open this up and let's see if we can get this working. So let's do a Claude. Or hold on, let's just have it launch a bunch here. 6 Claude Code agents and 2 Codex agents.
Done. 6 Claudes and 2 Codexes up.
Okay, it didn't open them. So this is an issue. Let's paste this here. I'm gonna go into, we're gonna use GPT 5.5 for this, extra high. I need you to review this screenshot and note that even though I requested Claude Code agents and Codex agents to be opened up, it did not properly open them up, and it said that I opened them up, and it never did. Would you review why this happened and update the code respectively to make sure that this happens 100% of the time? There is no room for error for this. I think most vibe coders know what a UUID is. I'm screaming here for 30 minutes to set GUID to it. Doesn't matter if it drags or not. Guys, I don't think that's... I think that drag and drop is more user-friendly, to be completely honest with you. I think that drag and drop is better. I mean, you could do it where it's like... I mean, I actually do like that idea where if you did just, it wouldn't be a GUID, but it could just be, you know, like, hey, I want you to review terminal 5, and you could do it. So you could do that as well. I think that that would be an approach. Let's see if the wake word works. So this one wants me to say, it wants me to do something else for the wake word though. Also, here's our settings. Okay, nice. So here's the settings that were just built. So custom skills, security review, UI, UX polish, test coverage, performance lens, documentation. This is just a test that we're gonna do, but you can turn these on, and then you'll be able to toggle on different skills that the bridge orchestration agent is gonna be able to use. And then you can also add in your custom system prompt, but this is just a way that we're gonna be able to customize bridge. Okay. Nice, that looks clean. Okay. So let's see if this works here. Let's launch just another Claude. Let's go launch another Codex. And then let's just do this. Drag, drop. I want you to prompt this agent with hello. Okay, let's see what it does. I don't know if my bridge is not smart, but I have to reprompt it so many times, and it says it's doing stuff, but nothing is happening. Am I doing something wrong? So you're not doing something wrong. So that's why we're actually working on it right now. So we're actually making it better, and that's why we're focusing in on this today. So let's do this, and now let's do this one.
Send. I
want you to prompt this agent with hello. How much does this program weigh, and also how much does it consume? Not much. It's pretty performant. So look at that. So that does work. Let's try this one. Prompt this agent to do a review of the project.
All right.
Nice.
Send.
Launch another Claude Code agent in the workspace. What's the MRR at? Here, let's pull it up. Let's pull up the MRR. All right, check this out.
Claude's up.
Quick stripe check, chat. Let's check the stripe. So I was actually expecting like a ton of churn, and we're not seeing that. We're not seeing it. I was expecting to literally like just absolutely tank. We're at 15,481 is what we're at. So that's actually not too bad. Yeah, Elon did retweet BridgeMind, but this is not too bad. Because look at this. So this is, if you guys look at this, maybe it's tomorrow though. Do you guys see April 22nd? It jumped like 1,500. So maybe, I guess it's 4 weeks ago. I don't know. Maybe it's tomorrow where we're gonna start to see that churn. I'm not sure. Is it possible to hide and open the sidebar because that can create a better layout view for the terminals? Yeah, you can just click this and it's gonna collapse that. So that's hidden. So literally you can just go like this, and you can do full terminal workspace if you want. Here it is. But I typically will have this open. Let's collapse this a little bit. Go here. Okay, I want to build a startup. I wanted to know how to get software ideas. I'm trying to find some good ones, but I'm not landing on anything good. What should I do? I mean, I think that like finding a problem that impacts you, that you know is a problem, that you need to take care of is like a good thing to like start with, but also just go into it with like the like, you don't have to figure that out right away. Like you can try something, and if it doesn't work, then you can move on to something else. I think that when like real failure is when something doesn't work out the way that you expected it to, and then you just decide to give up and move on. That is failure. Like failure, you can have a project fail or you can have a product fail. And the only real failure is if you just like stop building. That's my perspective on it. If you just stop building, that's not good. All right, let's drop in this. I want you to review the context of what's been done in this terminal and give me a brief recap here. All right.
1 sec.
Okay, so it said, so Lucien
Codex
said
is reviewing the project. It's scanning for XSS vectors,
nice,
checking backend hardening, and looking at recent diffs across UI, admin, and web app. Still working.
Okay, so let's have this one. So I'm just gonna do review the UI and the SEO, and we're doing this for testing, and I'll just drop in BridgeMind UI, and then this one I'll say BridgeMind API review and try to find bugs in the API. So I'm gonna have them all do some different things, and what we'll do is we'll drop in 3 and basically see, okay, is this able to actually pick up on what's being done? But yeah, I agree, Lucian. Let's knock that out. Let's do that. All right. Also, how many likes are we at, chat? All right. This will be a very interesting test here. Okay, we're at 261 likes. If you guys are watching and haven't already liked and subscribed, make sure you do so. I am going to do a live piano performance at 300 likes, and then we're going to do a giveaway later in the stream. Okay, so let's check this now. So let's now see, okay, if I drag and drop this one. Also, do you guys see the, I wonder if I can get a screenshot of this. That may be hard to get a screenshot. Because I need... I can't get a screenshot of it. Okay, hold on. Somebody screenshot this on my screen here and send it in the Discord. Do you guys see this? All right, I can just prompt it. It's okay. I can just prompt it. I'll prompt it. All right, this one. When I am dragging a header, the styling of that header is a little bit wonky. It kind of gets cut off. Would you review the functionality of what the UI looks like when I'm dragging a terminal header to somewhere and polish it up so that it is formatted correctly? Okay, this thing will eat up 20x in a couple of hours, and in a couple of days it will eat up the weekly limit. That's actually not true. I don't have any issues with, I have 0 issues with, like this is just how I vibe code normally, so I have no issues with usage. It doesn't use more usage. If anything, it actually improves it. You can Command Shift S. Okay, hey Mycroft. I think this is the Mycroft. We didn't test that out yet. Let's test that out. This did refresh, but let's go test this. So I'm gonna go over here. Go to Bridge. Hey. So it's a Mycroft model. Let's make the sensitivity literally just max. Oh wait, lower sensitivity, lower triggers more easily. Oh, we want to drag that down then. Maybe that's why it didn't work with the initial Hey Bridge, because I moved it the other way. Okay, let's try this, chat. So let's go over here and see if I open up Bridge and say, hey Mycroft, hey Mycroft, hey Mycroft, hey Bridge. It's not working. Hey Bridge. Yeah, that's not working. This is still not working. Would you launch 2 deep dive agents and do a complete in-depth review and figure out what is causing that? Justin, so BridgeSpace is in an entire ADE. So for example, look at this. So this is what we're working on right now, just to give you like a frame of reference. So this is an orchestration agent where really what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make it so that you never even have to prompt again, where you can literally just talk to this agent and the agent is able to prompt for you. It's able to do everything for you so that you can basically like hand off what you're trying to think, and then it's going to do the system prompting for you. And it has the context of the terminals. It has the context of your code base. It has the ability to search the internet, all these different things. This is what we're focused on right now. But inside of BridgeSpace, there's a memory system, there's a task-based system, there's a ton of features that you can use to be a better vibe coder. And it looks like this one's done. Let's see if it fixed that styling issue. So if I drag, look at that. That looks way better. So you guys see that it just says terminal now. Nice. You guys see that? That's way better. Way better styling. Get this one here. Nice. Okay. Nice. That's perfect. All right, so now let's try this again. 7 Claude Code agents and Workspace. Let's see if this works. I kind of missed the back half of my prompt there.
1 sec.
All right, 13 likes, and we are going to do some piano here. Let's see if it does it. Would you rather grow to 1 million or be bought out at 500K ARR?
Can't open agents yet. Bridge isn't wired for spawning in this workspace.
Okay, look at this. So this is the issue here. So I thought we had a GPT 5.5 that was looking at this issue here. So this is working in production, but it's not working locally. It was this one here. Yeah, look at this. This is still not working. Look at this in complete depth and figure out why it's not working and fix this. Aster, that's a good suggestion. Thank you. Grow on LinkedIn. Okay, so when I start a new project and ask it to work on a specific repo, will it auto-detect the project and load the correct skills, MCP servers, etc.? What, for Bridge? With BridgeSpace, there actually is a really nice feature. Check this out. Hold on, let me go over my settings real quick. There's a really cool feature here that you can actually do MCP syncing. So if you guys look at this, what you'll see is that these are all my MCP servers, okay? And as you guys can see, all of my MCP servers are synced across all of the coding agents that I use. So for example, when I click sync, it syncs all of them, okay? So it's actually really nice. So if you use multiple coding tools, it's a very nice thing to have. I really like your music. Can you share where you play your music? Yeah, here's my music if you guys are interested in it. Check this out. Also, shout out to everybody that's watching over on Twitch. Appreciate you guys. But yeah, go check this out. That's the music playlist. But yeah, so that's a really cool feature. Let's see this one here. This one's important. The wake word just doesn't even work. Yeah, we're gonna need to work on that. Also, guys, 4 likes. We're gonna go. I'll show you guys a piano. Okay, let's look at the system prompting here. So I did have one that was doing a review of the system prompting. I believe, was it this one here? Let's go up to the prompt. And this is the problem. This is why we're building this in, is, hey, I'm unsure. Okay, it was this one here. The prompting techniques. Okay, it was this one here. So in a concise 1 sentence, tell me how you're going to improve the prompting techniques for Bridge. So the jumper said, any new BridgeSpace customers that came in after the Musk repost today? So this is one thing that may surprise you guys. So just because you get a repost from like Elon, that doesn't necessarily mean that, you know, you're gonna have, wow, okay, this is the new Qwen 3.7 Max. So this is, look at this Qwen Sweetbench Pro. Geez, they're saying that Qwen 3.7 is Max is one of the best models now. So this is Claude Opus 4.6 Max. It scored 57.3 here. What in the world? You guys see this? So this is the new Qwen 3.7 and Opus. It's so funny how they just choose not to include GPT in the comparisons. But look at this. We'll probably want to do a review on this. Do you guys see this? So this is Qwen 3.7 Max. Okay, replace Grok's freeform prose authoring with a mandatory plan handoff tool that captures structured intent, then have the runtime deterministically render that plan into a per provider role specified prompt with an auto-attached context capsule and bridge status output, turning every prompt from hope Grok wrote all well into the runtime composed it from a verified plan. I think that's a little too complex. Would you output a diagram? Yeah, let's go check BridgeBench. I did test this in BridgeBench, right? It has been put through, correct? Present. Okay. I need you to run it through the missing benchmarks. Also, update the front-end UI with the benchmarks that we have in today. Oh, wait, hold on. I need you to completely run this through BridgeBench using subagents so that we have complete results, and then update the front-end website with the results when you're done. Yeah, so it looks like we need to test this. Let's drop in BridgeBench. Let's drop in BridgeBench UI. But yeah, dang, that's actually really good results. That's really good results for Qwen 3.7. Okay, let's let this test real quick. Let's do a quick piano performance. I'll show you guys the piano skills here. Let's go downstairs real quick, and I'll show you guys. We'll do a quick live piano performance, and then we're gonna do a giveaway. But yeah, we're grinding today, guys. These are working right now. We'll take a look at this when we get back. Okay, great work. Now, I need you to ensure that when we do drag and drop and we put the terminal context into the bridge agent, that it's able to actually have the context of what is being done in that terminal, the entire context of what's been done. But we need to do this in a token efficient way. Would you review this and figure out what the best approach would be for this? Okay, so I'm gonna submit this. That's my prompt. This is gonna be working. We have more agents working behind it, but let's go knock out a quick. I'm gonna show you guys the piano performance. I've been playing piano since I was 5 years old. All right, let's go do it. Knock out a performance real quick. All right, can you guys hear me? All right, let's go. Let's go, chat. All right, let's get it. Let's go. All right, let's go. All right, here's the piano. Let's go. Here's what I'm reading right now, chat. Look at this. If you guys know Marcus Aurelius, Meditations, and then also The Happiness Advantage, How a Positive Brain Fuels Success and Work in Life. This book is fire. All right, let's knock it out. Let's go. All right. All right, let's go, chat. Alright guys, that's it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Alright, where are our agents at? Are they grinding? Alright guys, let's do a giveaway, chat. Also, I'm learning about something here. I don't know if you guys know this book, The 48 Laws of Power. That book is evil. It's actually kind of interesting. But all right, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. All right. Also, for anybody wondering, it's a bow now. Everybody always asks about what that actually is. All right, let's go. Let's get it. Okay, it looks like this one just finished, so perfect timing. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's get it. All right, so this here, I am interested to see task Claude toggle off on and celebrate or paste the console output line by line wake word. Okay, super combo, I'll check the DM. I'll check the DM. Let me go over here. Oh yeah, so check this out. So this is the coding agent index. Yeah, Opus 4.7 Max is still the king, 100%. Yeah, I did see that, yeah. Someone who just entered the stream might have thought you prompted the agents via Morse code with the piano. Yeah, 100%. That's funny. Okay. All right, let's go over here. So this is what this one is saying. Okay, so enrich terminal attachments with scroll back. So what we need is when we do the drag and drop, right? Which I think that drag and drop is a good approach to be able to add the context from a particular agent just visually. Like, yes, you can add in like the context of like, hey, I want you to look at terminals 7 and 8, right? And that's fine. How on earth do you have so much energy every day? Some days I don't. Some days I don't. But today I have more energy. So send time, scroll back enrichment. When the user hits send with one or more terminal chips attached, each terminal scroll back is fetched, compacted, and embedded under that terminal. In the preamble, bridge gets recent context up front with no read terminal round trip. So this is the approach that we're taking. So 3,500 characters equals 875 tokens per terminal, one time per turn. Like, if we have like a very long terminal, I don't know if it's gonna have all of the context that we need. Like, let's say that I have like a lot of work that's just been done. Also, I did not like that. You guys see that bug that we just had? A little error. So even like for this one, right? Let's open this and let's drag and drop. And I'm gonna say, let's do 2. I want you to tell me exactly what these 2 agents are working on. Make an AI model. I don't know if that's the key. It may be the key. All right, let's do let's do at 500 likes, we're gonna do a giveaway, chat. All right, 500 likes, we're gonna do a giveaway. Let's go. All right. Okay, good work. Tell me how much context you have of these terminals. Do you literally see the entire context of the terminal? I just want to understand what you are able to see in this terminal. So I'm going to drag and drop this one here, and I just want to see, like, hey, does it have the entire context of a terminal, or what even is it? What does it get to see? The entire AI market has been occupied by Sherpa. Oh, wow. Okay, so tell me what the SEO audit dates are. It happened in the terminal. I just want to see if you have the context to it. So I want to see, does it have the context? You guys see this here? So it said the SEO audit dates to 2026-4/9, right? You guys see that? And what I want to see is, does it actually have the context to that? Or what are we dealing with here? He got it. Okay, it did do that. Will you test the new Qwen? Yes, I will. Yeah. So I am running it through BridgeBench right now. We're gonna have some results. There's 6 tasks that are currently being done. But if you guys didn't see Qwen, like, this is the biggest thing. MC Swaggers, just wait for the next update. Just wait for the next update. This is everything I have here is local. So, okay. So yeah, I mean, so this is the results from Qwen 3.7, and it's just kind of typical at this point. Like, I'm not surprised. Let me make a post on this, but this is what we're seeing right now. But doesn't Opus 4.7 outperform that though? Like, they literally just pick, like, this isn't even the frontier model. Qwen 3.6 Max though does very, very well in BridgeBench, so I'm interested to see how this does. If you look at Qwen 3.6 Plus, it scored 56.6, and then Qwen 3.7 Max got a 60, but I just do think that we're at the level now where it's like, okay, even like these benchmarks, they chose what models they wanted to show to make it look good. They're like, we perform worse than, like, these charts that people show are like funny at this point, because this isn't even the frontier Opus model. They just make the chart because they want to show that they're the best at everything. Pretty much is what they want to do. And it's like, well, you're not the best in everything. It's kind of interesting. All right, let's go over here. Yeah, Qwen is made by Alibaba, yeah. All right, let's do a giveaway here. All right, giveaway at 500 likes. Let's get this. All right, new poll. Okay, look at this, guys. So this one is struggling with the woke word. This one here. So this is what it's basically trying to say. So right now, this is the current architecture of being able to prompt. So voice Grok writes prose from one shot, and then it submits the prompt. It has an emoji with fingers crossed. You guys see this? That's funny. So it has emojis, finger crossed. After, voice is plan a handoff. Runtime renders, submit prompt. What do you mean by Grok fills a form? Yeah, Elon Musk has retweeted me 5 times. But I don't want to go work for somebody else. They would have to acqui-hire. Today, Grok writes the whole subagent prompt as free-form prose in one shot, whatever sentence it feels like, with whatever structure it picks that turn. Filling a form means Grok instead emits a structured object with named fields. So the handoff would look more like this. Do you guys see this? So goal, target files, success criteria, out of scope. I feel like that would cause issues. Acqui-hire is basically where somebody buys out your company and then they get you as an employee. That's what acqui-hiring is. I feel like this is doing too much. One thing that I'm a little bit worried about is that with this strategy, prompting may get... So this is what it's trying to do. Do you guys see this? So right now it's kind of like freeform. The Trotman Show, what's up? Freedom is much better. Free creativity with no constraints. I've just made the move to self-employed myself. That's awesome. Okay, I mean, look at this. So plan handoff. This is like what I'm worried about is like out of scope. Like, I don't want to be too specific. Target files. Okay, I think that we would be too specific with this approach. For example, it's good to have a system prompt with context to particular files or to particular directories that need to be referenced as context, but I think that this is maybe a little bit too much. Let's think through a different approach. I'm not a big fan of this approach. I don't like this approach. I think that it would end up causing issues. It would cause issues, I think. Have you tried Graphify? I have not. I don't even know what that is. Oh, you're academic? Okay, cool. Oh, yeah, of course, yeah. How much will you rank yourself on a scale of 1 to 10? If you are supposed to code manually, I'm asking this to know how much coding knowledge skills is needed to start coding, to start vibe coding. I would not rank myself very high on coding, because at this point, like, hey, I started coding 4 years ago, and then I started vibe coding like 3.5, right? So I had about 3 months of coding experience. I mean, technically I have more than that because I started coding when I was a teenager, but I'm more so like coding every day. So I would say that I don't have a ton of manual coding experience. And then now, especially with like, I haven't coded a single line of code in like 3.5 years. So, you know, you do lose that skill, right? But the thing is that no longer is a skill that you really need to do or have, to be honest. Okay, let's go over here. So this is the new, so fair, forcing a form on every voice kills the casual feel, and more handouts really are. Tell Claude to look at X. So there's gonna be a lighter version. So this is the new diagram. So voice, Grok writes prose freely, runtime decorates, submit prompt, capsule, assume in 1 bullet preamble. Let's try this again. I want you to launch 5 deep dive agents and use the context 7 MCP and identify the best practices for prompt engineering when vibe coding, and then come back with a complete structured summary and think how we could implement this into our prompt engineering practices for Bridge. Yeah, nobody really writes code anymore. Domix, what's up? How's it going? Okay, so we'll submit this. Let's see if the wake word works now. We can go over here and we can just go here, boom. And then let's just, did you guys see the autofill there? That is working well. Seriously, for all of BridgeMine, you have never manually fixed any code, but you understand all the syntax, correct? I mean, like, I understand syntax, but for example, to be a builder today, you don't need to like be looking at like if statements. You don't need to be like, it's more like the core overarching principles that you need to understand about how a product is built. There are things that you need to understand, but like, hey, it doesn't matter if you know Python syntax. That doesn't make you necessarily a good builder, right? Like, there's so much that goes into it. It's not, you know, understanding syntax or writing syntax anymore. It's understanding like the workflow of vibe coding that matters now, which is why, you know, I want to pursue a Vibe Academy, because I want to teach people how to do this. Okay, let's fix this here. So for example, like, I mean, hey, all you need to be able to fix this bug is you just need to know the fact that, hey, you screenshot that, you submit it over here. This was the agent that had the context and it was working on this and even caused this bug. And then I just say fix this, right? Like, that's all that's needed. So the jumper said, at work, my coworker used Graphify to ingest the codebase of all his repos into a graph database, ended up with 90,000 nodes in the graph. That's awesome. Conmain said, and remember, this is the worst AI is ever going to get. It's a waste of time to learn how to code, but you do need some understanding. 100%, I very much so agree with that, yeah. Like, just the fact that this is the worst that it's ever going to be. Now, I will say that the latest models were 100% a disappointment. Like, I was very surprised at... I am Ket over on Twitch said, conceptual knowledge is very important, but doesn't beat high skill in programming, though. Yeah, I would say that the more understanding that you have, the more capable you are going to be in vibe coding. Okay, this is now done. Okay, so the five background agents are running here. Let's go check if this one did fix that issue that we had. We'll just close out of this, but let's go over here and see. I need you to launch 5 Claude Code agents in this workspace. Let's see if this works.
1 sec.
There we go. All right, perfect.
5
The jumps are
Claudes
small between models. Yeah, the latest ones, yes. It wasn't always like that. All right. I'm very interested to see what this one comes back with. Would you now review the bridge agent and launch 2 deep dive agents and think through how we can potentially integrate a tool so that it's able to properly use skills? Even though right now we kind of just built some placeholder tools, it would be nice if we had a tool to be able to use skills in Bridge and be able to call tools. And inside of the Bridge chat, it would be nice to be able to see when it's calling in skills, when it's working. All right, so even here, okay. I think it's bad to say you're disappointed with the new models. I think we just got spoiled with previous release versions because they were really big jumps. Jumps will be smaller and smaller, in my opinion. Well, I would say that, yes, the jumps are going to be smaller. But one thing to think about is, like, they're releasing very small iterations of the model, right? Like, we're getting Claude Opus 4.6 to Claude Opus 4.7. And most of these models are just, like, basically fine-tuned versions of the prior model. Like, isn't Opus 4.5 and Opus 4.6, weren't they literally the same model? Like, let's go over here and let's look at the knowledge cutoff date from, also, is Qwen 3.7 done yet? Let's do a status check here. This is the Qwen 3.7 benchmark here. Okay. Okay, let's just go over to ChatGPT real quick, and I do want to see, hey, what's the pre-training on, like, here, let's just pull this up. What is the knowledge cutoff date of Claude Opus 4.5, Claude Opus 4.6, and Claude Opus 4.7? Because is there... Let's just see. I don't know what the answer to this actually is. How much money have you made till now? At what cost? Wait, let's look at this. So yeah, I mean, so training cutoff date, Opus 4.5 isn't listed, but Opus 4.6 and Opus 4.7, aren't these, they have the same training date cutoff. Do you guys see this? So isn't that essentially, like, I'm just saying, hey, if you've been in the space, you guys will know that, like, these updates that we've gotten the past couple go-arounds have not been, it just seems like they're trying to keep up with the hype, instead of, like, actually releasing something revolutionary. But the thing is that, all right, looks like we can test this now. Hold on, let's go over here and test Hey Bridge. Hey Mycroft. Hey Bridge. Hey Bridge. Okay, hold on here. BridgeSpace, sorry, wake word, replace the... You can point it. It's saying that it should fire cleanly. The adaptive reasoning on 4.7, I don't think anybody, like... A lot of people are using Opus 4.6. I Am Cat said, I bet they have a fine-tuning team and then a long-term team at the very least. Yeah, for sure. All right, let's go over here and let's go to Bridge. Hey, Mycroft. This just doesn't work. All right, let's do this. Let's generate a handoff here. Let's just generate a handoff. All right. You need to enable it. Super Combo, I already enabled it. It's not working. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, so this is the handoff here. And what we're going to do is we're just going to pass this into GPT 5.5 extra high. I need you to do an in-depth review of what this agent was working on with the Mycroft wake word functionality. And I need you to launch 6 sub-agents to do a complete in-depth review of this functionality and figure out why this is not working. All right. Should I buy Cursor Plan or any AI tools plan that is worth it for a long-term vibe coder and have a good performance with also a good price. I mean, I think that like a ChatGPT Pro subscription is going to go the furthest right now. I'm Valerium said it's definitely been gradual, although remember it's harder to recognize changes when models are so good. They're likely improving in ways we just aren't recognizing, though there's some degradation. 100%. Yeah. I mean, like, I do think that we're going to see some big jumps. I think that we will. I know that a lot of people, they say that like, hey, the jumps between models are going to get smaller. But when you really do think about like the models that we do have today, the fact that I didn't just one-shot this Mycroft integration is like a telling factor. Like, it's not like these models are like that good. I mean, the fact that I haven't one-shotted every single thing that I've done, I think tells you that the models still have a very large room for improvement. I think that we will get to a day and age where you're just one-shotting like every single thing that you're doing. I do think that will happen. I'm a big believer in that. It's changed even to today. I mean, it used to take so long to build any feature, where now you can easily build tons of stuff, but it still takes like maybe like 1 or 2 go-rounds, right? And I think that's the biggest thing that we're dealing with now, is that like the fact that we're dealing with any... Hold on, I do want to solve one of these bugs real quick. I want you to prompt a new Claude Code agent to do an in-depth review of the settings agent for Bridge. And note that when I click on the Bridge settings inside of the settings page in BridgeSpace, the audio on my computer, it messes with the audio on my computer. Also, the styling has a ton of overlapping elements, and I need you to do an in-depth review with 2 deep dive agents using a Claude agent and give it the system prompt so that it can improve the styling and also improve the functionality, so that when I click on this page, it doesn't mess with the audio settings on my computer. All right, hold on, let's zoom out a little bit. So like this one here, let's go and check out. So it launches a new Claude Code window, and then it should prompt it. Let's see if it prompts it. There's the prompt. You guys see this? So this is the prompt. You guys can look at the prompt that I just gave it. I feel like the AI will vibe code for us in the future 100%.
I'll spin up a new Claude and 2 deep dive agents to review the Bridge settings panel, focusing on the audio conflict and the overlapping styling. Up.
I mean,
Now
this is
prompting
super
with the
helpful.
Full task and instructions to launch the 2 deep dive agents. Sent.
So
That
I don't...
agent's reviewing now and will spawn the 2 deep dives.
So what this does is, because this agent has the context of the terminal, I basically just use this agent and I prompt it, and this writes the prompts for me. And honestly, guys, like, I think that there's a huge marketing opportunity for us with this. Spec-driven vibe coding works well for me. Do use like SpecKit or something like that. But there's that. I mean, that works well. But even that drag and drop functionality is going to be big. Okay, let's proceed with next steps. And I need you to build this out. Okay, someone should plot Claude Codex benchmarks on a graph over time so we can extrapolate in the future when it will release one shot every time status. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, that's what I noticed personally, is I'm like, hey, even with this stuff that we've been doing, right? Like, hey, I've got an agent working here that's fixing. I mean, this agent, how many times did I prompt it? Like 4 times, 5 times. I am Ket, I see you. I am Ket said that he uses a roadmap.md file. Using a prompt like create me a detailed fleshed out roadmap checklist for this project. The roadmap should encapsulate every implementation step or milestone. This roadmap is essentially to keep us focused when we run out of context in the future. That's interesting. Why not add a configurable border color for each agent to differentiate between what model, or add a title bar with the model name? So I think that is a good feature. We do have the titles. I mean, I think that a lot can be improved, like particularly with these headers here. Like these headers, once you do have like agents in a workspace, what you'll notice is that the headers do kind of get like a little bit, you kind of get lost here, right? Like you're dealing with headers that, like, look at this header. I mean, unless you do the, unless you hover over it, the headers are all like crammed together, right? Like, I don't like that. Let's see if we can have one of these improve the headers here. All right, let's do this one. I need you to review the designs of the headers with 3 deep dive agents, and note that the icons are good for being able to control different actions with the headers, but the titles and then the workspace just get really crammed together. And once you have a bunch of terminals in a workspace, it doesn't do a great job of showing what each agent is doing. It's a little bit confusing. Is there a better approach that we could take for this? Review this and come back with different options that we could potentially do. Yeah, I'm not sure what the best approach here would be. Let's just have one explore. So we've got 4 agents running here. This one didn't work. Let's just cancel out of this sub-agent. This one did a bad job on what we were trying to do here, which is fine. It's just going to take some work. What was this one working on? The highest leverage insight is, hold on, was this? Hold on. Okay, so this is the one that's we're trying to improve the design of the prompts, okay? So we launched 5 sub-agents here, and this is what it came back with. Output a singular sentence of how to improve this. Why not move them in list view with the hover view if they get over like 6 agents? That's potentially a good idea. Stop sending naked prose into the PTY. Wrap every bridge dispatch in a per provider envelope. XML for Claude. Goal done when headers for Codex. Brevity preamble for Gemini. Strip paths for cursor with auto-injected verification criteria. Scope locks and context bridge already gathered while stripping role priming and COT filler. The code models don't need. I think that this is a little bit too complex. It would be better if we just improved our prompt techniques so that Bridge is able to derive what the user needs and is able to prompt the agent with best practice prompt engineering. You need to remember that Bridge has the context of the code base as well as what the user is asking for. So Bridge needs to be able to prompt in a formatted way that integrates best practice prompting techniques into its prompts, but doesn't cause hallucination where, for example, the user asks one thing and it prompts for another. It needs to be able to understand what the user is asking for, understand the context of the code base, understand the context of the terminal that is being prompted, and then be able to prompt accordingly. Think through how we could do this. Do you spend money on paid marketing or is it all just organic? Yeah, it's all organic. This is kind of the approach that I want to take with it. 500 likes does equal giveaway. Thank you, Wisio. Okay, Mute the App said we can have horizontal and vertical info bar on each terminal to show all the features and it will not look overcrowded. Okay, horizontal and vertical info bar on each terminal. What do you mean horizontal and vertical? Hold on, let's change the effort level here. Max. When you resize the panels in BridgeSpace of a Claude custom that isn't running but has history above, does it mess the way up the text looks? Like smush the text to the side of the old panel? What do you mean? I like the idea of a colored dot which can be highlighted and pulsating also to indicate it's busy. When you move your mouse over it, you can see the model name and tokens used in those kind of details. Interesting. Hold on, let's look at this. Okay. So close, but note that you need to derive what the user is saying and to improve what the user is saying is said into a better prompt. Is there a reason I do not use planning more? I see that from some of the big names like Carpathian, Cherney in their tweets. What do you mean, to plan more or to plan less in their tweets, Chris? Because I don't use a ton of planning. Like right now, I don't necessarily need a plan for this. Okay, Ruben said, I feel like the action buttons can just disappear until you hover over it to win space. That's actually a pretty good idea. Close, but note that you need to derive what the user is saying and to improve what the user is saying. Like, I don't want to say, like, let's say that you're taking somebody that doesn't have a bunch of technical knowledge. Is it possible to be able to take what they asked for and be able to, like, turn it into something that has really good technical knowledge, context of the code base, context of the terminal? I think that's what's needed. It's kind of like 3 tiers. Okay. Okay, let's see if Qwen 3.7 is done yet. Let's check on the status. And let's also drop a 30 bomb chat. We need the energy. Status, let's check it out. Status. Okay, I gotta say, he's really good at voice prompting. My brain is too slow. I went back to typing. I type fast, though. Let's go. Thank you. Okay, Chris said that they use planning mode and recommend that doing that before doing a one-shot prompt. Yeah. Okay, it's still working on these. Okay. SM, what's up? Peter said, what happened to that feature you had once had the rewrote? So Peter just asked a great question. So Peter, like, here's the thing that we're working on even right now. Like, this is actually now, like, this is built into this voice orchestration agent that we call Bridge. So if you've been watching the stream, we're working on this here because I think that this is actually a very unique feature that is an incredibly marketable aspect of BridgeSpace. And that's why we're focusing in on it today. Is that we want to make this better. So for example, this, you guys can see the diagram here. So you give it a voice prompt, it goes to Grok, it's going to drive intent, improve the request with add specifics, verification, scope, and shape, ground every specific and observed context, the only intervention guard, and then shape to target the agent. So we'll see if this is better. Okay, also make sure that the prompts that are submitted are formatted incredibly well, and that the agent should know when to request a plan before actually implementing a feature as well. That's very important too. I now want you to take all of this into context and create a structured plan on how to update the Bridge harness to improve the system prompting that the Bridge orchestration agent has. So this is actually, let's actually do this. So Chris, shout out to Chris. So we're gonna switch over to plan mode here. And we're actually going to update this now. So now we've been brainstorming with Claude Code, and what we want to do is we want to turn this into just like a prompt engineering beast, okay? Plan mode is better overall when you launch subagents, so they don't really touch something else that they are not supposed to. Yep, 100%. What was my budget going into this? I invested a decent amount of money into the company. Like, from my perspective, when I first started BridgeMind, the space was a lot less crowded, right? Like, BridgeMind ended up starting a trend, and it's very interesting. Like, there's some toxic people in the space. I was actually watching somebody else's stream, and they were like taking like shots at me and stuff. I was like kind of laughing. I was like, all right, like, it's no big deal. But you know, when I started doing this, vibe coding was not as big. So now, if you start like if you start vibe coding, there's so many people vibe coding now, right? Like, there's vibe coding is like has exploded onto the scene. People do know that this is like one of the best ways to develop, and it's starting to become more and more of a thing. Now, I think that what is going to happen is everybody is going to be vibe coding, and everybody's going to be using AI. It's already happening. But when I started doing this, like, I had success with just like it resonated with an audience, right? Like, I built the audience relatively quickly. I think that after the first month, I had like 2,000 subscribers or something like that. Also, guys, in 5 likes, we are going to do a giveaway. Okay, use skill tool. But yeah, so my budget was, once I saw the success, right, I was like, okay, let's invest some money. So I invested $5,000 initially. That $5,000, it took me a long way, and then I decided, hey, let's send it, and I invested $25,000. Okay, use skill tool, but I didn't spend that money. I just had it in the business, and I was kind of telling myself, like, hey, I'm just going to lose all this money. I'm just going to go all in. If I lose it, I lose it. I kind of just went all in. So I invested, you know, that into BridgeMind. I didn't spend all of it, though. And it did get to a point where then it was like, then once we made all that money, it was like, okay, then now we're in a good spot. Okay, so this here, so there is a new skill tool. So let's do this. Would you do an in-depth review of the styling of the Bridge conversations and the Bridge chat? And note that right now we have this task window. It would be good to move this task window somewhere else right now, the current way that we do tasks isn't great. We don't really have great tool calling for creating tasks and managing tasks. Would you do an in-depth review of how we could potentially improve the tasks? Also from a design perspective, let's update the design of the bridge sidebar so that the tasks are maybe not as prevalent and pop up as a modal and don't take as much space there. Did you invest it into just the agent subscriptions? No, I didn't. The agent subscriptions are relatively cheap. I invested it more so into just like, I didn't need to invest that much money. I invested it more so into just this idea of like, I'm gonna invest this money into the business and I'm gonna just enable myself to do and spend the money, do marketing, whatever I need to do to make this happen. Why is your ARR drop from 190 to 180? Well, technically it's 185, but the launch of BridgeSpace 3 was last month. Any churn that happens is gonna happen this week. So, I mean, I'm expecting that we could come out of this week at like 170K ARR, and that's okay, that happens, that's business, right? All right, let's go check this out. So this is now working. We'll see if this works, but yeah, we did just hit 500 likes. So let's do this giveaway, guys. Let's pop up Nightbot here. All right, here's Nightbot. We're gonna do a giveaway. This giveaway is going to be a $25 Bitcoin giveaway, and it's going to go to active chatters in the chat for the next 10 minutes. So if you guys are sitting there lurking, just engage in the chat. You don't have to spam or anything, but anybody that is active in the chat for the next 10 minutes is going to be entered to win. And then the winners, you just join the Discord and I'll give you guys $25 Bitcoin. But all right, so there's currently 4 eligible users for this giveaway. Start a timer for 10 minutes. All right, and then we got a 10-minute timer going. All right. Is this ready to be tested now? All right, so let's see if this is ready to be tested now. I think it's ready. Yep, you're active. Thank you, guys. Let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. All right, this looks good. Let's pop this up. I think it's ready. So we're going to test it with Hey Mycroft. And this is the difference between Claude Opus 4.7 and GPT 5.5 is, hey, we had it with Claude Opus 4.7. We gave Claude Opus 4.7 like, what was it? Maybe 3 or 4 tries with it, and then it wasn't getting it. So once you get to that level, it's like, okay, now it's just kind of like looping on itself. Let's just test it with GPT 5.5. We did a handoff prompt using BridgeSpace. We pasted the handoff, and that's it. Felipe, let's go. And I just want to see if we can get the wake word going. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But also, let's check if this is now working. Let's do a status check on the Qwen 3.7 benchmark. Thank you, Shirkan. I appreciate that. Joe, what's up? Okay, Aiko said, so I'm trying to build a few apps as well, mainly iOS things, but I have found ideas for apps. Should I first come from things you need or wish were different? Yeah, I mean, like, if you think there's a need, you do want to kind of look at, like, okay, what does the market look like? How many people are in the market? Competition is a thing. So there is, like, you can carve out your own niche in a market, but you have to definitely brainstorm, like, how am I actually gonna break into a market? So check this out, guys. So let's see if we can get this Minecraft thing working. Okay. Still okay. So listen for wake phrase. All right. Let's see if this works. Let's test it. All right. All right, so we're gonna go over Bridge. Hey, Mycroft. Hey, Bridge. It doesn't work. It's just not working for this here. This does not work. I need you to launch another 6. I mean, actually, guys, let's use Composer 2.5 for this. Let's use Composer 2.5 for this, because I think that we're actually going to be able to use the debug mode. If you guys saw my video from this morning, I think that this is actually going to be a phenomenal way to use Composer 2.5. Have you tried herd.dev can be run inside BridgeSpace? No, what is it, Hung? All right, so we're going to put this in debug mode. we're going to add BridgeSpace, and this is Composer 2.5. This is Cursor's new model, which is actually a pretty good model. I want you to review the functionality associated with the wake word for talking to Bridge, hey Mycroft. When I say that wake word, it should start listening, but currently it is not working. We need to debug this and get this working. So what this is going to do is it's going to build instrumentation around this feature. And it's really, really fast. If you guys look at Composer 2.5, it's incredibly, incredibly fast. But if you guys are watching and haven't already liked and subscribed, make sure you guys do so. You know, I've been doing this for 181 days. It's, you know, it is what it is. I show up every day. I give my absolute best, and that's all I have control over. Yeah. Composer 2.5 is good, fast, and competent. I would agree with that, yeah. I mean, you guys can see it, like, especially with this Cursor debug mode. I do have Cursor Ultra, and I've got, like, $13,000 in Cursor credits. I don't have, like, a sponsorship from them or anything, but I'm on, like, their... At some point, I got put on their known creators list, and I guess they just give me, like, $10,000 a month or something like that, so that is nice. Okay, but you guys can see, so this is, like, the hypotheses, right? And so this is what it wants me to do. So let's go over here, and what we're going to do is we do have to restart the app so that the instrumentation, and look at this, our plan is ready. Let's accept our plan. Let's go back over here. This is like the longest sickness that I've had. Like, how am I still sick? I feel like it's been so long. Is it good in back end like 5.5 is? It's not to the, it's not as good as GPT 5.5, but it is... I like somebody in the chat just explained it very well. I would say it's competent. It's fast and competent. So sometimes you have these fast models. I think a good example would be Gemini 3 Flash or 3.5 Flash, that it's incredibly fast, but it's like just like a slopinator. And, you know, I think that with Composer 2.5, it's fast. Really give you that, it actually is pretty competent. Better to 5.5. Let's go over here. Let's open this up. And then, hey, Mycroft. Hey, Mycroft. All right. So I said, hey, Mycroft. So issue reproduce, please proceed. So this sets up the instrumentation that would be needed to be able to debug this. So logs show Onyx Wasm fails to load. So look at this. So this already investigated and it said, oh yeah, it's failing to load. Is the Qwen 3.7 max bench done? It's not yet. I think they're still waiting on the security benchmark and the BS benchmark. Those are a little bit more robust benchmarks. They're pretty, they have got like hundreds of tasks each, so it takes a little bit longer. All right, let's go. Let's go, guys. All right, so let's see what it did. It said that it confirmed this right here. So look at this. This is what's so good about Composer 2.5, and especially if you use it in Cursor, is that we toggled on debug mode. We just put it in there. Somebody said, can I set up local models, custom model gateway, or does it always call the existing CLIs and defer the config to them? Like in what? In Cursor? So look at this. So yeah, so it says that it confirmed this. So now we're going to retest this. And so we've been dealing with this bug with Opus 4.7 and GPT 5.5, and we've been throwing like sub-agents at it. We've been throwing the smartest models at it. Let's see if Composer 3 or 2.5 is able to fix this. All right, while this loads up, let's bust out a 30 bomb chat. If you guys haven't been doing push-ups with me, why not do them? Let's get the energy going. Remember, vibe coders are, we're changing the stigma, okay? We're gonna be jacked. While our agents work, we do push-ups. Let's go. Hold on, that phone's dead. Let's use this one. Oh wait, hold up. This one is actually just lying down here. Let's do this. There we go. Fix that. All right. All right, let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. All right, let's see if this is, hold on. The echo is in this camera right here. 1 second here. Let me put this camera back up real quick. Okay, there we go. All right. We're back. Okay. So let's go over here and let's see if this works, guys. So cursor, it looks like cursor found our bug. But now, let's see if it actually works. Hey, Mycroft. Hey, Mycroft. All right, so now we're gonna turn it on again. And this was the fix. We'll see if it got a different bug. It didn't work again. All right, hold up here. All right, 19 seconds, and then we're gonna do the giveaway, chat. All right, anybody that wants to be in the giveaway, you've got 19 seconds longer to join. All right, so look at this. So look at this. So we had an issue here. Do you guys see how it says the ort? So this is fixed now. So, but now the wake phrase is not firing. So new hypothesis 8.6 confirmed. Apparently there's overlapping calls. Yeah, I don't think that the cursor CLI works. Okay, all right, we're ready for the giveaway. Let's open up the giveaway here. Where was the giveaway? I always lose it every time. Where is it? It's somewhere on my computer. Okay, I found it. All right, giveaway chat. 93 users eligible. Choose a winner. Let's go. All right, the winner is Reddit Stories. Congrats. You've got 60 seconds to claim. 60 seconds to claim. You can say anything to claim, but after 60 seconds, we re-roll. Let's go. All right, we'll see if he claims. All right, let's pull that back. This. Let's restart this. Data Moon, what's up? Let's go. All right, he just claimed. He said, hey. Let's go. All right, congrats. All right, I'm going to drop this in the BridgeMine Discord to claim. Just head over to the Discord. I'm about to drop another link in the chat to the Discord and paste this in. Just paste this in. Just paste a screenshot. Winner of the $25 giveaway. DM me your Bitcoin wallet address and a screenshot of your YouTube channel. All right, cool. All right, and then here is, we're gonna drop Discord if you haven't joined already. All right, there you go. All right, awesome. Let's go, guys. Okay, let's pull this up. npm run tari dev local. Let's see if this works. So what Cursor did fine. This is Composer 2.5. This is what a lot of people are talking about. You know, debug mode is incredibly useful. It's incredibly useful. Somebody said, what is he building? So look at, this is BridgeSpace. Right now we're working on this orchestration agent right here. We're making significant improvements today to this orchestration agent. That's the sole focus of the stream. Hold on, let's change the light goal. All right, let's, we're gonna bust out some push-ups, okay? Every like from here on out equals +1 push-up. Let's make the goal. The goal is gonna be 650. All right, chat. 650 push-ups. Actually, not 650 push-ups, but we're gonna do another. We're gonna do another 100 push-ups from this point. Okay, let's go over here. Check DM AI XAI is all in. Hold up. What did Super Combo just send? Oh, dang. Yeah, that's actually really interesting. So yeah, so this is Super Combo. Thank you. So Grok is basically making it very, very easy for people to use their subscription. So they made it available in open code. They made it available in OpenClaw. So they're like trying to get people to be able to use their subscription anywhere they want. That's kind of how this is working. I mean, they're doing a pretty good job at it. You guys can see. What's my thoughts on spec-driven development? Sometimes I feel like it's not really needed. Okay, let's see this now here. We're going to go over here, and we're just going to retest this, okay? We're going to go down here. We're going to go off, on. Change this a little bit. Let's go back over here. Open up this. Hey, Mycroft. Hey, Mycroft. Hey, Mycroft. All right, so it didn't work. All right, let's see what it does. Let's see what it thinks that it is. It's saying that it's not finding anything. Very interesting. Okay. All right, let's go check. So, wait, what's the root cause? Root cause. All right, it says to try it again. So this is the thing about Composer, is that I'm not seeing this get a whole lot better. Let's go over here. Let's do npm run tari dev local. Yeah, Mycroft, that's just the name of the framework. So, like, the reason that it's Mycroft is because that's the name of the framework that we're using. All right. Let's go over here, start a new poll. Okay, I am noticing the audio get a little bit messed up. I think that's because... I think it's because that it is listening. I think it is listening. So let's go over here and let's try it out again. We'll go back over here. We'll go here. So it's to the studio display microphone. Okay. It's fine. We'll toggle on, toggle off. We'll go over here. Adjust this. Go back over here. Hey, Mycroft. Hey, Mycroft. It works. Hello there, Bridge. I need you to open up 8 Claude Code agents. Ooh. Okay, one thing though. So it did just work, guys. It did just work.
1 sec.
Oh, whoa, look at this. It also now says that it's spawning agent panes. Oh, that is sick. So it actually says that it's nice. Okay, so one thing though. So it did just work, guys. So we'll let it do its thing. But to be able to stop it, it has to... So,
Done. 8 Claudes up.
all right. Hey, Bridge. Let's try it again. Hey, Mycroft. Hey, Mycroft. Hey, Mycroft. Hey, Mycroft. Hello there. How are you? Okay. A couple issues. We have it at least working a little bit, and Composer 2.5 did
Good.
get this.
How's it going?
Okay, so I'm gonna do proceed. So we have it. It did work, but now the issue is, it worked, but it doesn't work every time. Okay, so hold on. Stop. Hold on. Okay, if you look at the logs, I need you to note that there are a few problems. Number one, it does not work every time. It did succeed when I tested it, but I was saying, hey, Mycroft, several times. It took about me saying it about 4 times for it to then work. It needs to work every single time. I also need you to note that it needs to stop recording once the user is done talking automatically. In order to stop listening, I have to actually click the button, which defeats the whole purpose. Would you review these 2 issues as well as all of the logs and then help me continue to debug this? Oh, that's interesting. Okay, apparently the Hermes Discord has a ton of people in their VC lately. Great conversations. That's interesting. The latency is not normal. What's your full real-time tech stack? The latency is fine. What we are dealing with there is we're dealing with how to get this actually working. Is this done? Let's see if this works here. Let's test this. Hey, Mycroft. Hey, Mycroft. Hey, Mycroft. All right, it doesn't work. Oh, there we go. And now it works. Okay. Using Composer for debug, why not a stronger model? Composer is fast. You're able to iterate with it very quickly. It's a very interesting tool here. We're gonna see how what this is able to do here. Is cursor better than anti-gravity? 100%. Yeah, not even a question. All right. Also, I'm gonna bust out. We're gonna go for 650 likes. We're at 568, so I'm gonna bust out. I'm just gonna hit a 30 bomb so I get ahead of you guys. All right, let's go. I think it's working 100%, but there's an initialized delay. So, hey, Mycroft, 5 seconds later, it enables. So do you think it's latency? Let's check. Let's check that. All right, we have way too many terminals open. Oh my goodness. All right, hold on. Let's close some of these. Okay, let's just open this one. All right, so I'll just say it once. I'll just say it once, and we'll see. Hey, Mycroft. I don't think so. What? Okay, hold on. Hold on. Okay, maybe longer than that.
Hey, what's up?
Okay, Super Combo, I think he may be right. TFMG, you got one in you, bro. Hey, Mycroft. Maybe when I start. Okay, that's what it does. Okay, we figured it out. No. Okay, no, guys, it's not when I say hey Mycroft. If you guys notice this, it picks it up, but it doesn't start listening until I then start speaking. So watch this. Let's refresh this, okay? Watch this. Hey Mycroft, I need you to maybe not. Okay, maybe not. I don't think that anti-gravity is good. I do have the $250 Google plan. They scammed me. Hey, Mycroft, are you listening to me? Okay. So there it listened. Hey, Mycroft, I need you to start listening to me. I don't know. I don't know if Wake is even worth it at this point, to be honest. The tool calling on any anti-gravity like Google product is not very good. So tool calling is definitely like what I look at. Would it be possible to change the name to Hey Bridge so that when I say Hey Bridge, that's when it starts listening? And could you make it so that once I say Hey Bridge that it starts listening immediately? It seems like there's latency and a delay now. Obo said that you got to call it 2 times with 2 different accents, 100%. Tell Composer 2.5 there's a 25 second delay. I need it to be instant. Yeah, that's pretty much what I just said, right? Yeah, start listening immediately. Maybe it's having trouble deciphering Mycroft. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, so we'll fix this. But also, guys, I feel really good about what we have with... let's go back over here. So check this out. So there's a couple things that this is one thing that we're doing for sure that's important. But also, don't forget this functionality here. So you can now drag and drop these terminal instances. I need you to help me improve performance inside of BridgeSpace and write a prompt to this terminal to identify areas where we can improve performance. Would you launch like 5 subagents in this terminal, write the system prompt to identify ways that we can improve performance? Let's check it out. Let's check this out here. So I dropped in this Claude Code agent.
1 sec. Sent. Claude's launching 5 subagents on performance.
No. That got worse. Okay, do you guys see the prompt that it wrote? I feel like that's worse than what we had. So look at this prompt. What we had before was better, I feel like. So before it was like formatted and stuff, and it had even like references and stuff. And now that's not there. I just tested this, and it looks like the prompting techniques got worse. What we had before would be formatted, and this is just, it's not even referencing. For example, the bridge agent is not referencing BridgeSpace, which is in that project directory. Instead, it just gave it this simple paragraph prompt. Why did this happen? What did you update that made this work? Because you did make this worse. Yeah, it made it worse. Like before when it prompted it, it would be like formatted, actually do this to say, hey, I say, hey, Bridge, change from standby to listening instead of, hey, Bridge, standby to do X listening. Okay. Aditya said, is it possible to integrate it with other interactive software such as Alexa or in your car, something like that? Is it possible to scale it that high? Not sure. Probably not, though. That's not what I'm trying to do with it, at least. Okay. All right, where are we at with Qwen 3.7? Status. Monroe, I feel like, yeah, so Monroe said this is the issue with vibe coding. It breaks, it works and you don't know why. It breaks and you don't know why. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a different skill. Okay, this is still working. It's, all right, looks like it's 70%. Oh, wow. BS already merged in ranked number 3. Let's check out the results so far from Qwen. I need you to make sure that you upload the results that we have so far to the front end, respectively. Even if you don't enjoy the content creation part, you're really good at it. Thank you, man. I try my best. I mean, like, at the end of the day, what I just try, like, my approach to content creation, because I don't like it, and because I just don't like it, the best way is for me to just be myself. And I think that, like, that's just the way that I do content. I just be myself, and that ends up holding up pretty well. Just be yourself, and you'll do okay. Okay. So this one's almost done. We're about to see these, congrats on the retweet. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Yeah. I mean, the retweet, just so you guys know, a lot of people are like, oh, like, how much revenue did you get from that tweet? Like, for example, that retweet from Elon Musk, it's great for a couple reasons, and I'll explain to you guys why it's great to get a retweet from Elon Musk. So first of all, like, if I look at this and I look at the retweet, let's say, so let me switch over to, let's switch over to BridgeMind, right? So with BridgeMind, like, look at this. If we look at the retweet from this morning, it got 5.8 million views, right? And that's great. because now 5.8 million people have seen the BridgeMind brand, right? So I look at it and I'm like, yeah, that's good. Now, if Elon retweets me, this post has nothing to do with BridgeMind or a BridgeMind product. It's all about Cursor and Composer 2.5. So this is not like, this doesn't mean like people that saw this, yeah, there are 5.8 million people, which is awesome. But this post has like no engagement towards like BridgeMind, like in the product suite, right? So even though 5.8 million people saw it, hey, Elon Musk even said, go try Composer 2.5. That's what he said in his retweet. So he said, hey, go try Composer 2.5. And then all these other people retweeted it, obviously, too, because, hey, Elon Musk retweeted it. So now all these other people are going to retweet it as well because Elon retweeted it. So, hey, I look at it and I'm like, hey, this is great. It helps with my credibility. It helps with my X, like just the algorithm in general, having a high authority account like Elon Musk, post BridgeMind. Shout out to Elon Musk. Thank you. But you're not going to see this drive $10,000 in MRR to BridgeMind, right? Like you're probably actually going to see like $0 of MRR because maybe for Composer 2.5, maybe for Cursor. Why do I not use the gold tick thing on X? I mean, it costs $1,000 a month, but I mean, this is a big deal. But like, I think that some people need to understand, like, yeah, this isn't going to drive a bunch of revenue to your product because it's not about BridgeMind. It's about me, and this is why it's like, most of my content that I post on X isn't me marketing my own product. It's about me like just adding value to the space, and I think that is the best approach to take on most things. Like right now, we're about to benchmark Qwen 3.7. Conversion is low, 100%. Yeah, like very, like not even, I would say the conversion on that is like not even existent. But let's go check this out. Let's see if Qwen 3.7 is now in the leaderboards. I'm pretty sure that it's updated. Hold on. Okay, so hallucination, you guys can see, okay, here is Qwen 3.7 max. It does really, really well on the BS bench. You guys see this? It does really well on BS. It does really well on debugging. Let's see how it did on speed. Speed bench. Where is it? Oh, it's right here. 120 tokens per second. So it's about... Yeah, Test Brand said it's 90% marketing, but it adds value, which is good marketing, 100%. Okay, let's look overall. I don't like the overall, but... Yeah, Qwen 3.7 max, look at this. This actually did not perform very well on Bridge Bench. It's still missing one of the benchmarks. Let's do the lava lamp test. Let's go look at Qwen 3.7 on the lava lamp test. Let's do a quick search up here. Qwen 3.7. Oh, wait, it's not in. Results aren't in yet for UI. I need you to add the UI benchmarks to the front end, respectively. Composer is not a fine tune of Qwen. It's actually a technically it's like it uses Kimi K 2.5 as a base, and then it goes from there. All right, let's see what Cursor did here. Let's go back over here. So it says researching a HeyBridge model, implementing HeyBridge. All right, saying that HeyBridge will work. Let's see if it works, guys. All right, let's go over here. All right, npm run tari dev local. Let's do this. Qwen 3.7 is there. It's not in, I don't think it was in the front end. Yeah, I'm most interested in the UI for sure. That's what I'm most interested in. Found it. There's a model registry that mirrors the backend. Let me check if okay. It's going to add that real quick. All right. What would you say the main driving factors were for hitting 185K? Well, product-wise, it was BridgeSpace, like 100%. I did retest it and restart it. HD said, keep pushing. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, like, I think that at the end of the day, this is a pretty tough mission that we're on. And, you know, it's, you just got to show up every day and give it your absolute best. And, you know, we've built a community. And, you know, if you guys haven't already joined the BridgeMind Discord community, we are going to have a project sharing event next week. We didn't get it to it this week. This week has been a little bit of a tough week for me. I came back from being sick, very sick. I've still been sick, but we're pushing through it. And next week, we're going to be back. So if you guys want to share your projects, make sure you join the BridgeMind Discord community and just be active around the server so that I kind of get to see. And I do recognize. All right, so I'm going to do this. Let's move the sensitivity. And then let's go back over here. And then let's do a new BridgeSpace. Let's just launch a random test. Let's go to Bridge. Hey, Bridge. Hey, Mycroft. Hey, Bridge. I need you to listen to me. So I'm not seeing Composer get this. I mean, honestly, I don't know how I feel about... I don't know how I feel about the wake phrase. It's not working at all. Hey, Bridge is not working at all. Let's see what it says. Also, I'm about to bust out some more push-ups. Let's see what it says. Okay. And this is why the debug mode is very, very useful. Is Bridge Orchestrator an interesting part of Bridge Code, or can you turn it off? You can turn it off, or you just not use it. It's totally up to you if you want to use it. Now, this one here, this is very important. All right, so this update is in. I definitely want to test this out here. Let's start this again. All right, let's test this. So we did get it working on the last test. So it was this one here. So hey, Bridge kills the detector, parsing failed, soft disabled. I mean, you can hear if you guys hear the stopping and being affected, it's because the mic is impacting that, and there's a way that we can fix that, but let's test this. Hey, Bridge. I need you. Hey, Bridge. Hey, Bridge. Are you alive? Will you listen to me? Hey, Bridge. I need you to launch 6 Claude Code agents.
1 sec.
All right, this is working better now. I now need you to note that we need to improve the SEO for BridgeMind UI. Would you use one of these Claude Code agents and have it launch 3 deep dive agents to do an in-depth review of the SEO and create a structured plan for improvements? Thank you, Wisio. Let's go. What am I using to curd? That isn't cursor. This is BridgeSpace. So I do want to see what prompt this creates here.
Done. Claude's up in plan mode on the SEO deep dive.
So this, I am not a fan of what it did here. It's like it's not using what we had. Geez, Opus. Honestly, guys, I'm starting to get a little bit disappointed in Opus, because this one has not done a good job. This agent here, like, something is not right with this. I need you to do a review of the screenshot and note that it is not prompting how you're asking it to do it. Look at the screenshot for reference. It seems like the agent is no longer even referencing the code base when writing the prompts. You can see that it literally prompted this one incorrectly, like it had no context of the actual project. Would you review this? Yeah, I don't use WhisperFlow. I haven't used WhisperFlow in a long time. All right. So you guys can see this, that like it was doing a better job before. Like look at this. It was supposed to improve our prompts, and I feel like it made it worse, to be completely honest with you guys. Let's see what this says. Lil Boots said that Opus has been failing for me lately. It makes me sad. Okay, let's go over to and see if we can have the Qwen 3.7 results. Okay, 8 UI snapshots are ready. Let's go see if they're available here. Yeah, I mean, that's just surprising that that agent, it was not giving us good results there. All right, let's go find these results. Okay, here is the results from Qwen here. These are the initial results. So here's the lava lamp test from Qwen. Let's actually go to all of the UI that was created by Qwen. I think this is going to give us a pretty good representation of the model. Here's the thunderstorm over the city. That looks good. Lightning is sick. Very detailed. Here is the ocean. Oh, wow. That's interesting. I did a pretty good job. This is the newly released Qwen 3.7, by the way. Man, that actually is pretty good. Let's check the open sign. Why can it never draw the letters correctly? What do you guys think? Here's the fire. I mean, for a Chinese model, this is actually pretty good. Let's see some of the games. Here's Neon Breakout. Let's full screen this one. Oh, wow. That actually does a really good job. It has, like, really good effects. Do you guys see the detail in the effects? That's actually really impressive. Like it almost like shakes the screen a little bit when it hits the. Just like really good effects there. That's pretty impressive. What about Flappy Bird? Did Flappy Bird not work? Okay, here's Flappy Bird. What? Okay, the quality on this is actually nuts. Wow. What the heck? So this was Qwen 3.7. This is the new model. Whoa. Chat. That is actually really good. This Flappy Bird game is really good. Python said, wow, that's really impressive. Yeah. Also, what's up, Python? How's it going? I mean, this is like... This is the best output I've seen for the Flappy Bird game. I mean, that literally is Flappy Bird. Like... Dang. Okay, this is actually sick. Here's this. This is like a music visual representation. This one's not as good. It's like a little bit laggy. Snake game. Let's check out the snake game. Whoa. Okay, wait. Can I play? The graphics on this are really interesting. This is definitely going to be worth a review video, I think. That one isn't great. Just like mechanics-wise, it's kind of hard to play. Yeah, this is not like a... It actually did a pretty good job. It did all the tasks. Let's try Space Invaders. I don't like what it did with the Space Invaders. It made it like really retro. It made the Space Invaders really retro. Yeah, this is a model by Alibaba, if you guys didn't know. I mean, on UI, it actually did really good. I wonder how it ranked overall. Hold on, let's refresh. Hallucination rate, number 10. Reasoning. It didn't do great on reasoning. Unless that benchmark's not out yet. Oh, 12 on reasoning? It did not do good on this reasoning benchmark. 39.1. What harness did you use to test Qwen? It puts them all through OpenRouter. So no harness at all. What reasoning is it? It's extra high, yeah. Alright, it did really well on the BS bench. You guys can see it. 3.7. 3.7 and 3.6 both did really good on the BS bench. You guys see this? And then speed-wise, it's kind of middle of the pack. Debugging, it performs well in debugging. Hallucination. Security benchmark isn't in yet. Refactoring, let's see how good it is at refactoring. Where is it? Ooh, it didn't do good. It didn't do good in refactoring. It did not perform well there. Yeah, this is 3.7. Thanks, Wissy. I appreciate that. Okay. Okay. I need you to look at all of the files affected by this update and the changes that have been made in this conversation. And I need you to note that we do want to revert back to what we had previously. This approach has not been good. Guys, why when I try to do rewind, sometimes I find that when I do a rewind, it doesn't actually restore the code from the conversation. Like, look at this. Look at this. It says no code changes anywhere. I guess it says restore code and conversation. Like, how do I make it? Sometimes once I go back, once I revert, just restore the code. Let's see if this fixes our issue. Because that what it just did on the prompt engineering aspect was not, it did not do a good job. How does it perform on Sweetbench? It performs well on Sweetbench. Yeah, I mean, I think the most impressive aspect of that is definitely like, I mean, the UI. Excuse me. The UI is very impressive. I mean, look at this. So if we go to like the Flappy Bird test here, and you look at, let's look at, okay, look at this. So this is the Flappy Bird from Opus. Opus 4.7, okay? So you guys can make your own judgments on it. But what I feel like is I do feel like Qwen did do a better job. At least on this. So that was Opus 4.7, and then Qwen. A lot of them fail on this test. Hold up, Qwen 3.7. Why does this one not show up in the? What did I do wrong here? Chris, I'll catch you later. Have a good one. Good luck at your meeting. All right, I want to see if this here, is this one able to... All right, let's see if... Hey, Bridge. Are you listening to me? Hey, Bridge, are you listening? I need you to launch one Claude Code agent and prompt it to do a review of our SEO in BridgeMind UI and assist in improving the SEO. All right, let's just see.
1 sec.
So spawn agent, it's gonna spawn an agent, and then we just wanna see the system prompt be better, and it's not. Dang. All right. All right, let's bust out another 30 bomb.
Claude's up on the SEO review.
All right, chat. I did just get Qwen 3.7 benchmarked. I think that we should focus in a little bit on, let's get these results up and post it on BridgeBench on X. Let's check the status real quick on the security benchmark, but let's get this deployed and make a post on X. I mean, it looks decent. So if we go over here, all right, let's go over here. All right, it's at night. It has one so this is the last task here for security. I'm very interested in how it does on this security benchmark. This is a very, very robust benchmark. The security one, you guys can see it takes like 30, maybe in an hour to get this benchmark done. So I'm interested to see how it does here. It has one task left. One task left. Are the goal commands any good? Any good use cases? Yeah, I think they're great. It just depends on, like, you know, you could have a goal to be able to improve SEO, and if you give it a huge system prompt, I think it's really good. Solo, let's go. Thank you, man. What are my max push-up reps? Probably like 50, 60, probably 60 to be honest. Thank you guys for 650 likes. Let's go. Okay. For some reason, it didn't score Flappy Bird and Space Invaders. Score would be higher. Yeah. Let's just make sure. Hold on. For some reason, it did not score some of the UI benchmarks. Would you make sure that it does score them respectively? Don't rerun the benchmark, but just make sure that these scores are inputted into the front-end UI. All right. DT, whoa, let's go, man. As long as you do more push-ups, you know, you'll be able to do more and more. I think yesterday I ended up doing like 400 or 500. All right. All right, this one's almost done. Then we're gonna upload this. All right, hold 1 second here. This is one thing that's really annoying about Claude Code is I just did the rewind and I said to restore the code, and it literally didn't do it. That happens all the time. All right, where are we at? All right, all right, this one here. Okay. I need you to undo the changes that you made in this conversation. Yeah, I mean, it's really, really annoying when it does that. I mean, they need to get it together. Like, I just did a rewind, right? Like, hey, it didn't mess up the, like, what it did was not good. I have to rewind it, right? I literally have to rewind it. And what does it do? I literally just, you guys saw it. I tried to rewind and it doesn't rewind. So what is Anthropic doing? This is not, this can't happen. Hold up, I'm getting the call. All right, hold on, guys. I'm getting a call here. Shoot. Okay, I'm gonna have to take this one. All right, I'll be right back, chat. I'll be right back. I just have to take a call real quick. Sorry, I'll be right back. Hey, Dario, how's it going? Yeah, you're in the chat. Yeah, what's your username, by the way? Okay, Invinio. Okay. Oh, Invinoa. Okay, that's your username? Okay, good to know. Okay. Yeah, I mean, like, I do have an issue with the rewind functionality. If you heard about it on stream, but how much? Maybe like 100 racks, and I just have a big problem. Like, you guys, I literally just went through the process with Claude Opus 4.7, and Claude Opus 4.7 just jumbled all of it up. I tried to do a rewind. I couldn't do the rewind. It literally broke the functionality, and I can't rewind the crap garbage code that it wrote. So what am I supposed to do? Would 200 racks make it feel better? Yes, it would. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm watching my bank account. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. No, I have to get back to the stream, Dario. No, let me get back to the stream. Okay, yeah, I received. Okay, all right, I got to get back. I'll tell him that. Yep, I got you. Don't worry about it. I got it. All right, I'll talk to you later, Dario. All right, bye. All right, what's up, guys? Sorry about that. Yeah, that was a tough one. Yeah, sorry, I had to. You guys couldn't see me or hear me, but that was my 4-year-old daughter. Yeah, she's at school right now. Apparently, she like punched the kid at recess. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but obviously I'm not doing something right, but I'll just have to talk to her when she gets home. Sorry about that, guys. But let's get back to it. It looks like Claude Code is done. Let's check this out. So it said that it is done. Nothing further to undo. I think we're gonna have to do this. Let's do run this, test this out. All right, let's go over here. All right, test this again. I'm definitely excited. I think the functionality that I'm most excited about today is definitely this drag and drop functionality from the terminal. So this is what I'm excited to ship out. We're about to bump the version deployed. There's some things that a process or work in progress, but look at this. So now you can literally just drag and drop a terminal, and you can say, I need you to assist me in improving the SEO of the BridgeMind UI website. Would you assist me with this? Prompt this agent respectively. So I can drag and drop that Claude Code agent, and I can just drag and drop it. It attaches that agent, and then it's able to
Send.
Oh, they just look at this. I just got logged out of Claude Code. That's crazy. They just logged me out. That's insane. But okay, I am gonna have to call it here for today. I only wanted to be on the stream for 3 hours today, 3-hour sprint, but I'm super excited to push this functionality. We're gonna make this bridge orchestration agent way better for BridgeSpace 4. That's like a very core goal that we have for BridgeSpace 4, and it's gonna take some time, but like if we can make it so that this thing can orchestrate all these agents, that we don't even have to write prompts, that's what we're going for. But I got to go do a couple other things and knock them out, but I just want to stream today. Thank you guys for showing up. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you guys in the future. Whew. That was a good stream. Whew. Elon, what's up? Yeah.